Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Slime Time.
Hello.
Yep. All right. Yes, we're live now, so you can come up and get it. Come on. Yes. All right. Get yourself a little bit of cheese.
It's Toby.
I'm just getting the Toby treats out of here. So these are chicken. These are chicken fries, and they were specifically bought for him. Are you still chewing on that tiny ass piece? Also, to everybody, wait, what?
Yeah, hold on the thing in the chat with Daxter there.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have our long-awaited bout. The
Hold
cookieless
on, hold
Western
on.
Church versus the nation of Tempest. The honorable slime and object of Rimaruist worship, Rimuru Tempest, versus the noble and focused paladin, Hinata Sakaguchi. Let's get ready to rumble!
Ding, ding, ding.
I think it's more. Let's get ready to stumble. If we're like, because we got a lot of missteps led
We'll
to
mumble.
this.
Quite a few.
Stumble
yes.
and fumble through this is probably better
I'm
words.
fumbling.
Rumbling, stumbling, fumbling going on right here.
Yep.
All right.
Maybe
That
a little
having
bit
been
of
said-
tumbling in there too.
And my stomach is rumbling.
That having been said, that was said in the wrong voice, so we'll go ahead and fix that.
That's why I said we
Yeah.
should wait. But
Mhm.
Moon
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a long-awaited bout, the cookieless Western Church versus the nation of Tempest. The honorable slime and object of Rimaruist worship, Rimuru Tempest, versus the noble and focused paladin, Hinata Sakaguchi.
Ooh.
Yep.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Honestly,
Oh,
with that many
yeah.
hymns, I think it needs to sound more like Futurama, President Nixon.
Rumble!
You know, it was
Yeah.
really
Like
fun
that,
to watch
yeah.
your jaw do that.
Right.
It was pretty fun. It was like, that was good.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Holy shit, it looked like you had like one continuous line for a mouth. It was like, that's awesome. It was like a
Oh
cartoon.
God, Richie's
character. I
having a
loved
stroke.
it. No.
He's having a seizure.
No.
Missed me? I haven't been gone that long, bro. Remarist Reverend? You literally just heard him, Shadow.
No, he was talking about me. Excuse me, he's talking about me.
Oh, Shem.
We are close. We're close DM buddies. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Regard would so shout that as part of Tempest. You know what? I do actually need him to come on. Let me find out if Carson's actually online.
Before we start
First,
reading, we have to do this.
Before
Oh,
we do
my
everything, let me see.
Hang on, we gotta tweet him. We
I hope you guys
can't
are all
can't
doing
start
pretty
reading without him.
It's true.
No, just everyone put your books away. We're not doing this until we can get him on to do it.
That's right.
I won't read a single line of dialogue unless we get it. Okay.
Do not
Fuck.
read a single line. Not one word.
Not unless I can speak to my agent,
Oh, I was going Thor and Oakenshield.
who apparently
I will not
is
part with a single
Regan.
coin. Yeah. Not
Thorn,
one
Oak, and
piece of
Shield.
it.
That's
Yeah.
one.
When it became evil, and he was like, I want to watch the stone corrupt him, eat him inside, and make him post something really shitty on Reddit.
I want gold.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
that's what Smaug said. He wanted the stone to corrupt him so that he would get himself downvoted on Reddit a lot.
Sounds
Or make a
about right.
controversial
What do
tweet
people
on Twitter.
do?
It's not hard to
Reddit.
get yourself downvoted on Reddit.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I just have to go Genshin Impact sucks, and then thousands of people will
No,
be on my
stop,
ass.
stop. We
Mm.
don't need that kind of. Don't you dare say that on this channel. Okay.
I know that's the thing. It doesn't though. That's the thing.
I'm so glad
like
so
the
few
taken out of
people watch
context
this
thing.
because you said that out loud and.
It's gonna be like that Scooby Doo thing where it's like you're gonna make me think that I think that Genshin Impact sucks, and then they're gonna edit it out.
Wait, don't
and then
record
just
that.
Have me go Genshin Impact sucks, and then I'm gonna get like 1,000 downvotes, and it's gonna make me sad because I actually really like Genshin Impact. Well, mostly the character
I'm
design.
gonna
aka
just
mostly
post
Yuba,
this. I'm just
aka
gonna
mostly
send this
other things,
directly.
but, you know.
I'm just gonna
It's
send
fine.
this directly to Joker Dan.
Oh,
Okay, Joker Dan.
Travelier.
Travelier.
Did you ever see that? There was a video called like Venti gets drunk and pretend he's French, and tries to kill Signora or something like that.
Does he just
So he's
walk
just
up and
floating.
go onion? All right.
Yeah, he goes.
Oh, hey, there's
Travelier."
Rigard.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Carson.
Hello.
I'm gonna send you
You're
the
too late,
dialogue that they
Batman.
typed out. There's a long ass bit of dialogue, bro.
You're too late, Batman. I already activated the machine to make Shem post horrible Twitter takes. No, good. I'm pretty sure that's how.
Batman.
Mona
What?
Mona is one of my favorites, but you know, just saying.
What is my
Sorry about it.
favorite word to say to marginalized groups?
Humans. That's probably the one. Let's call them all humans. I
Wow.
get very upset.
Wow. How
Mhm.
this is literally turned into how can we get the Fat Dog Twitch channel canceled? The stream. Yeah.
By calling everyone humans. Yes.
Wait, Richie, I've already been canceled. I can't be canceled twice.
Oh no! Now you can get the whole. Now you can get all of us
It's
collectively
canceled.
canceled. That's a whole different.
Oh,
yeah,
please
yeah.
don't.
I already
Well,
am.
we're
So
going
I don't
through by
need that.
associating with me.
Oh, guilty by association. Well,
Yeah.
I got you.
oh well. In that
Guilty
case,
gear.
arm in arm. Let's get canceled together.
Look, I've already
Excuse
been
me.
canceled, so I can go around screaming racial slurs all I want.
No, please
That's
don't.
That's not how that works.
Please don't.
Although, hey, we might be able to get him to say the title of that one manga.
No.
Oh, do you mean Kobayashi's Dragon Maid?
No.
Here, I think
There's
I
a
saw picture.
there is literally
Huh.
there is literally a Shonen Jump thing. Well, Shueisha is doing this thing called Shonen or Manga Plus Creators, where you can submit your own manga to Shueisha, and one of them
That's-
is called Dog N-Word.
Hold on, I'm gonna put a picture of it in the
Oh,
thing.
Dog Neutron.
Okay,
That's
so
cool.
how thematic are you wanting me to do this?
I don't know.
You don't have to do it like an actual boxer announcer. Just go as Rigard as you want with it. Have fun.
Yes. Yeah. Just have fun with it.
I got back just in time for this. Cool.
As regard as I want.
Yes.
Yes.
Literally
Very
have
Rigard.
fun. Literally have fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Because
we're adding in the echo.
Mhm.
I told you how thematic you want me to go with
this
I'll go
this
thematic.
to be fair,
Very
Volume
thematic.
7 deserves the volume 7 deserves this. Like there can be no better. Keep it coming. If you've got other added bonuses, yeah.
I want the
Because we're
the bell
literally
as well,
this
if
is literally
possible.
round 2 between Rimuru and Hinata. So yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Do you have a bell? To start
Please
the
tell me you
match?
have the box. Yes.
Oh, I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yes. Yes.
I do,
Yes.
I do a
Yes.
weekly wrestling show.
I
Of
figured you
course I
did.
know.
I
Okay.
figured. Well,
I was
hey,
gonna
here's the
say-
thing. Here's the thing, guys. Important distinction. The Fat Dog
Yep.
Gaming channel has been converted into the Fat Dog Wrestling channel. So
Now,
it doesn't
fully
have to be
ran by
weekly. He could do the shows whatever the fuck he wants.
It is solely
Good.
ran by me now.
Yep.
Let's
Cool.
go.
I was gonna say.
All right. Okay.
I was gonna say if we didn't have a bell, I have this Naruto alarm clock. That's
I
as
did-
close as we get.
I did
Oh,
pitch that
believe it.
earlier saying,
Oh,
dude,
Yeah.
let me tell you right now. I have everything set up. I have my wrestling preset ready to go.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Shim, do you seriously have a Naruto alarm clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should
I've
put
done
it.
this before.
I can't
This
believe
was a
it.
gift for my cousin. So
There you are. That's,
I have to actually get into the voice. It's been a
Yeah,
while since I've
right.
done
It's-
Rigor.
it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta warm it up. You
vocal-
gotta...
I haven't
Yeah.
recorded for Riegert in a while, so
It's not my fault they keep
Oh.
cutting him out of the anime the further in it goes.
and like
Mm.
and like he gets like 1 or 2 lines, and so I have to play it up. I have to be Macho Man Randy Riegert.
Randy,
He's
Fine,
not wrong.
ouch.
He's not wrong.
it's true though.
Have you told them the story of how that came about?
Mm-mm.
Macho Man.
I'll quickly say this and then read it. So the entire thing. This was around the time I had just started doing PDW, and I was really deep into the whole wrestling thing and spreading my influence around. I was ready to convert as many people as I can into the wrestling world.
To the Church of Wrestling.
Yeah,
It sounds like.
basically.
How many churches we got?
So many.
Well, I have my own religion created by my own Twitch chat, so that's entirely separate.
Oh boy.
It was
Ah.
aga- it-
They're gonna clash one day.
it was completely against my will. I hate it, but they love it.
Okay, I've got a dumb new character to pitch for you because it is
boy.
now apparently part of the Fat Dog zeitgeist.
Yes.
He's absolutely a heel and he can get his ass kicked as much as you want. Palpy from the Valley.
Yes.
Yes, it's quite an enjoyable role for me. Thank you. What do you mean I can get my ass kicked though, Rich?
You don't get a title shot.
No,
Oh.
no. You don't get a title shot. The biggest, the most entitled there is.
All right.
What are you,
I
what are you
love
talking
the
about?
titles.
That's literally just the Doctor.
Yeah, right?
Except Doctor's much more menacing about it.
Yes. Hang on. Before I can actually shock you, though, I gotta do my
Literally,
nails.
I have a character called the Doctor, and his promos are literally just.
Give me 1 second.
What's wrong, brother?
You
seen a ghost?
I'm sorry, that did something to me just a little bit.
Mm.
The
Are
voice.
you okay?
Yeah, I was like,
We haven't
oh,
even
my ears.
mentioned the first big bad that stepped into the PDW ring.
I love
Yeah,
villain
Menu,
voices.
who was
so
his
it's
underling.
No, Father Jason.
good.
Oh wait.
Oh,
hold on.
good.
All right,
Yeah.
Father Jason. He's on the second show. Yeah, ever since
Faja Jason.
then,
As well.
PDW's expanded. There's now a second show.
Nice.
Ooh.
Ran by
Hold
Eva.
on.
So it's like Raw
Just so I can
and
get into the.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
actually just
There we go.
to kind of plug a little bit. Up next week, well,
Plug.
this Thursday, at the normal PDW start time, is the first ever PDW and WFE draft.
oh.
Meaning,
Nice.
Are we plugging
characters
YouTube
are
channels?
switching shows.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Where's the channel? I'm ignoring that.
For those of you that don't know, we used
Yeah,
to play
I forgot
Friday the
this as well.
13th back in the day. And
Never actually played it. Bought it.
Carson
Never played it.
actually had like a
was
sound
really good at the game.
modulation he did. We had so much fun. So just the two of us being Kermit together is some of the best dumb content we've ever had. Like if you've ever wanted to hear two Kermits try to throw each other under the bus, that's kind of how it went one time. We were just, no, you.
Okay, who hit me?
Oh,
It was
no.
him.
You
It was
did
him.
it.
It was him. I swear to God, it was
I
him.
didn't do it. No, it was you.
No, it was totally him.
It was
Waka
like-
waka, what's going on?
That's where the
Kermit?
Kermit started, and
Yeah,
now they're
James.
and they showed up in Log Horizon. Now they're in PDW. There's 3 of them.
Yep.
Yep. And we had that one joke of you're like, I'm a vegetarian.
That's not what
I
Miss
go,
Busy
bullshit,
said.
I saw you eating piggy last night. Like,
Oh,
So Father Jason
I want a
is
compilation
a
of that on
Yeah, hold
YouTube
on.
now.
so Father Jason started when Carson actually played as Jason and did that voice, and it just became like this great thing.
well. Okay, so originally it wasn't Father Jason.
It was just,
originally because Cody played with us.
yeah.
He started out as Rape Jason.
Oh my god.
So I want to know what
Because
rape. I don't know if I want to know
No,
rape Jason.
No, you don't.
I don't. I don't
Because
want to know
literally,
that.
I would just go.
Come here, Cody.
Ah! Get away! Bad touch. Get out of here. I don't like that.
Oh,
I
don't-
Is it wrong that did things to me?
I don't like grape Jason. Okay.
And then.
But he
so
was
that's all it
rape
was.
flavored.
Excuse me, did you just call us lackeys? Are we lackeys? I don't know if we're lackeys.
And then
We
the
might be
and then the
lackeys.
great part. God, there was one thing I said and I remember. I think I called him a cutie at one point.
In the voice.
And then
Uh,
That's
slowly,
Just
Jason
say
started
it.
to like.
Just say it.
Then Jason
bad
suddenly
touch.
got in the PTA or something
Where are you
because.
running, cutie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hate it, bad touch, bad touch.
Oh.
Then-
No. Make
Then we
everyone
stopped playing-
uncomfortable.
Hold
It's
on,
great. It's
hold
a
on.
good time.
Hold on.
Then we stopped playing for a bit.
Yeah,
And when
unfortunately.
we came back on the first time of being Jason, I decided, you know what, the whole rape Jason thing isn't funny anymore. So now he's really religious. He found God.
With the voice of Satan, he found God.
Welcome.
Yes,
You know, it.
pious
Everyone,
Jason.
welcome
Re-
to Camp Crystal Lake.
I managed to team up with Father Jason a few times and help track down the terrible kids leaving the devil's lettuce all
Wait,
over
hold-
the devil's
stop
lettuce
pretending
all
you're
over
Christ.
his camp. Yeah.
Just had a thought. The foghorn pasture paired with that.
That's
Oh,
totally
God.
it. No, Carson. He went from rape Jason to reap Jason.
No, missed
Reap
opportunity to
Jason?
call him Jewish Jason.
Reap. Reap. He's
Well, I mean,
reaping
you
them.
know,
The
Yeah.
reap.
Is he Catholic though?
Everyone.
Oh yeah. it could've
All
been.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Anyway,
get to
They
it.
still
Yes.
couldn't roll.
Rigger time.
Jesus, Jason.
Rigard.
The floor is yours, Rieger.
Yeah, do it.
All right. Everybody but Carson
it.
mute.
Okay, I gotta.
Do it.
I'm justifiably in a position I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
Literally, a lot of my recording is just me doing Macho Man promos to get into the Rigard voice
It really is.
because I have to.
I can't
or
wait
else-
to add all those after season 1 is done because like this.
How many of those do you have
So many.
of me just doing Macho Man Macho Man promo?
I mean, there's at least probably around like 3 to 4 minutes worth of content of that. If we
Just
put it all
snap into a
together,
Slim Jim once for me.
snap it to
Oh
a slip.
yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have our long-awaited bout because the following contest is scheduled for one fall. The Cookieless Western Church versus the Nation of Tempest, the Honorable Slime, an object of Rimmerist worship, Rimuru Tempest versus the noble and focused Paladin Hinata Sakuchi. Let's get ready to rumble!
Yes.
I think the only thing that could have possibly been
Beautiful.
missing from that is you said Rimuru Tempest and there was like yay and cheers and then right
have
after
that.
Hinata
Boo.
boos.
That's why we were
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah.
I gotta say one thing. That when you guys introduce Hinata to the Abridged series, you have to have a preview, like a 1-minute preview beforehand, basically doing something similar to that.
Literally,
Like the
I
sports
think
interviewers
No!
going
my
and be like,
favorite- my absolute
this is Hinata
favorite moment-
Sakaguchi's. Here her stats from last season. Let's take a look at the stats.
Oh
what
my
she has."
god, oh
Hey,
my
man,
god,
this is,
no.
you know,
Shim,
Yes!
no,
what's
Shim and
up?
Carson. If we do this, I want you guys to be like the commentators for most extreme
Ladies and gentlemen,
elimination.
welcome to a fantastic show. We hope you are ready.
Yeah.
Carson, no,
Rimuru Tempest going up against the noble paladin Hinata Saguchi. How will this go? What are the stats looking on both of these people?
right you are, Shim.
Glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
Right you are,
No,
Shim.
I don't- I
And
don't
then
think
have
we have
like,
None of you understand.
gets
have,
how
like, a
vaporized
guest
immediately.
judge or
That
something who's like a
commentary.
celebrity
Also,
boxer.
can we just
I'm
say at
sorry,
the
I'm
end, it's
losing my
like the end of the episode, it's like, and welcome, and thanks for checking this out, guys. And remember, for next episode, don't get eviscerated.
Literally, so
Yeah.
Who would be the sponsor though?
there is a
Right you are,
reason-
Shim.
For anyone who's watched the Abridged series, there is literally a reason that there is a wrestling like part of an episode where Rigard is just doing a promo. That was
Yeah,
all
with
me,
All Might.
and that entire promo was off the top of my head.
I just told
And it
him,
was
I was like,
amazing,
hey, cut a
so great
promo.
work.
Do it.
Yeah, literally, he just
Yeah,
messaged me,
yeah.
"Hey, want to cut a wrestling promo?" I was like, Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do I?
And then I lost my voice afterwards.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Understandable.
Nah,
Then we
it was,
kinda,
but it was
like,
great. It
the
was
two of
worth.
us cut a promo for PDW at the beginning of, like, episode 8, I think?
Around that.
Yeah,
And since then, promos have gotten so. When I first had you do a promo, it was very like out of nowhere. Now it's a lot more focused.
Right. We have some kind of basic scripting to it, but it wasn't like we didn't write a script out for that intro promo for that episode.
Literally,
Yes.
no one should ever watch the early episodes of PDW. They're all terrible. Literally, watch the last Super Showdown to now. That is like when PDW got good. Season
That's the
3 was
growth.
when PDW was good. We have just finished season 3 last week.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Season 3, and this Thursday is the start of season 4.
And while we're covering Fat Dog
Fascinating.
content, before we get started reading, guys, we have updated the Patreon. Like, holy shit, we have, like, majorly updated the Patreon. All of our abridged content, we moved it over from where we had it before, which was on Mega, and we moved it over to Streamable, so you don't have to go to another site to effing watch it. You can watch it live on our Patreon. We've actually started posting a lot more updates. We have a huge multi-paragraph, almost an essay typed out of some of the behind the scenes of what's going on with each of the individual shows. And of course, there's a lot of good stuff coming out. Plus, guys, I've revealed this before, but if you haven't seen it, we finally have a logo for our Konosuba one-shot. So, the script is probably about 60% complete. Once we get it done, that's when casting begins.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. It's
sir.
gonna... Oh, yeah!
Yes, sir.
So,
I am excited.
I am excited. I am excited.
I am excitement.
The only person that will not be up for auditioning or casting is Kazuma, because we've long since
Obviously.
known who was going to voice that one, because we just want to keep
Me.
running. No, we wanted to long since keep running with the joke that the voice of Kazuma and the voice of Gabiru are the same person, so it's going to be the Das Tales.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's totally me with my Shoryu voice.
Hey guys, how's it
Your
going,
Choryu
everyone?
voice.
Literally, hey, what's up? Please don't kill me again and again
We-
and again.
We've got lots. The thing is,
What is this, Ray Zero?
Ray Zero,
Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, Re Zero.
but Ray. We use.
Yeah.
It's
What are
like
you
Re
talking
Zero,
about? The
but we
exact
use
same
ray guns. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like Re Star Wars or Re Palpatine.
Hey guys,
She's
I'm
fine.
Kazuma.
Palpatine in another universe. I want
I'm
to see that
surrounded
now.
by ladies, and one of them
Re
gets
Palpatine.
turned on by pain.
It's true though. Can I voice darkness? I'd be like, ugh, pain.
What are
You know
talking
what?
about?
You know what?
I'm gonna do it.
I would love one of you guys. You know what? Fuck that. All right.
What?
I'm just gonna go right now and actually pull up the script and see which one of
Oh,
you bitches
God.
wants to voice darkness.
But, like,
Oh boy.
I'm just,
Oh,
I'm just,
no.
Richie, Richie, I want you to do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Visualize. Close your eyes.
Mhm.
Visualize. Darkness gets hurt, and then all you hear is,
More daddy.
Yeah.
Okay. I will cast you right now, but you have to sing me a
Yeah.
lullaby in that voice.
I can't sing.
Good, because I was lying. There's no way I was gonna do that right now.
Do you remember?
That would have been hilarious.
Do you want to build a snowman?
There's no.
I don't imagine headless horseman character that she goes up against.
Oh no, wait.
All the
Do you
Dolan
want to
hand.
sniff some?
Dolan.
No, don't. I can't say that on Twitch. We'll get in trouble. I was gonna be like, do you want to sniff some blow, man?
Oh God.
You want to fight some
But yeah,
slimes?
before I leave,
It
ladies
doesn't
and
have to
gentlemen,
be
I
a
would- I
load,
would-
man.
I would very much appreciate it if you
Yeah.
guys would check out PDW. It is a long-going passion project of mine. I
was
do
not even joking about this darkness thing.
like I
He's pulling up the script right
absolutely love
Oh,
working
God,
on
he
it,
is.
and I would appreciate it if y'all could go check it out. Check
I
out
kn-
the Fat Dog Wrestling channel.
Mm-hmm.
I know
All
what
that
part I
stuff.
want you guys to read. I'm just looking for the part with all the censor bars. There it is.
Palmeji did a promo
God,
for
this ought to be good.
PDW.
Oh no.
That was great.
Just a line.
Is this for all of us or just Shim and Carson?
Oh no, it's
All
for
of us. It's for all of us.
No,
Oh,
you and I are
boy.
reading too, probably.
Let's
Oh.
good
go.
luck. Good freaking
I'm glad I
luck.
have the door locked too. I don't want people pulling. It's like, what the hell are you reading? Like, don't worry about it.
Here's
Don't.
the funny
don't.
thing. Here's the funny thing. You actually have to say the word bleep because it's all been bleeped out.
Bleep. Oh yeah. Oh, that's better.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
no, that's much better. Actually.
I'm gonna win.
I don't know.
this.
Why,
that's
sometimes the censors
great.
can be
Because
just
you actually have a
more
bleep?
funny than the
Are you-
actual word.
Yeah.
You got an actual button.
Are you bleeping me?
Watch.
Yes.
Watch.
Richie, you keep bleeping me into these situations. I'm so
Wait,
bleeping
let me-
tired of it.
Let me read this. Let me read
Jesus.
this.
There's no time for these games, Kazuma. He wants me to go to his castle, where he'll most likely take me to his dungeon, and proceed to me with a hard on a stone table. And when he's had enough of my screams, he'll shove down my mouth and my for all over. And the juices will flow down around my ankles until he finally finishes with all over my a giant with a bowl of clam chowder and a can of
Oh, that's
beer.
oh, that's
Someone
unfair. I
clip
don't have.
that.
I
You're
don't have
hired.
bleep noise.
You're
Oh my
hired.
Yeah, that's
God.
amazing. I don't even think I have to audition now.
God.
I can try though.
No, I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear
I'm
each
sorry,
of
I
you
don't
have to do
Can
that.
I get the audio
don't-
equipment he has?
Oh,
That just
God.
seems
I don't-
unfair.
I don't have the
God.
bleeps, but
I
can
want to
put
get
in
a
my own
stream
words.
deck
No,
now just to
the
be able to
thing
do
is,
that.
the thing, it's literally the direction is frantic and horny. So,
yeah.
Carson, thank you for that. That was
No problem.
that was so good, dude. I can't wait to say that if you skipped out on Slime or the beginning of Slime,
Oh,
you missed out
my
on so
virgin
much,
ears.
dude. No,
You
you
missed out on a
don't
lot of
even know what
context.
we're doing with Megamin. Like that's some, yeah.
I've stopped playing Batman.
Oh, I
Arkham
thought
City
darkness
for
was
this.
bad.
Yeah, sir.
Anyway,
Started playing Batman. What?
I stopped playing Batman Arkham City for this.
That very
Oh, I'm
important.
sorry, man.
Go.
No. You
Go
gotta go.
to the PDW
Finish.
YouTube channel. Could you link it for us, please, and put it in
Yes,
the? Yes,
I
please.
can.
Give them a link and also a reason. Give them a reason. Most
Yes.
It would make me happy if you don't check it out. I'll cry.
Oh, don't
well,
cry.
you heard that.
Don't make him cry.
Have you seen the logo?
If he cries, I want to hear him cry in the demon voice.
Carson,
There
have you
go.
seen?
It
have
still
you-
says Fat Dog Gaming, but it is Fat Dog Wrestling. It is a entirely new, is the new channel and all that.
there's the logo for the show.
Interesting.
You're right. I had to make all of that I kind of had to make all of that in one go. I had to find the font that technically fit and then just go for it. So I'm very proud because like I had to go through a lot of each letter and change the color letter by letter. And that was so annoying.
And I will do this. I will put this because I'm not
Oh.
because since now I have full control, I'm able to do stuff. But we also have a Discord server specifically for PDW.
So Easy Voice said already sub my guy.
Awesome. Well,
Dope.
I'm gonna
Easy
Imagine-
voice also
imagine-
likes to try- I'm assuming reading.
I love Spider
line?
goes. I love Spider says imagine Carson is just the horny side of darkness only.
Yes.
I mean,
That would
I'm
be
happy.
amazing.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's the link to the PDW Discord. That's where you get all the announcements of like cards that are like matches that I actively
subbed to.
announce because we actually have custom match cards that I can use as needed.
Also, guys, if you're a $10 patron, if you are one of
Get
the
to create a
$10
PDW
patrons,
wrestler.
you get to create your own PDW wrestler.
I don't have a lot of space for wrestlers because the game only has like 100 slots, and I've used up a bunch of them. So we only have a couple.
Here's
of
the
spots
thing.
left.
Here's the thing. You could get rid of Great Sage. He's practically like if you haven't already. Like
He
it's like
hasn't- yeah, I haven't. He hasn't been used in a bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
go for it. I mean, we're about to make a major reveal. Yeah. And
So you'd
in
have
a
to
few
hold on.
episodes, and that's gonna kill the whole Great Sage thing anyway.
I mean, he kind of became his own thing. Menu became an underling of the Doctor. At some, I've already
Yep.
made his entire look when he leaves the Cure, but
I'm kind of curious what Palpy from the Valley would look like if he just goes out like a bitch in the first round or whatever.
Oh, so you're talking about he's like Chad, a wrestler we have, who loses.
But just it looks like he's all wrinkled up.
Old wrinkly wears some weird coat.
Yes, I'm gonna go in there and box him, but my lightning's all covered up, so I'm not gonna be able to use my actual abilities.
I am losing in this match. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck. Yeah.
Well, it's like that. It's like that. Except, all right. So imagine if Palpatine was a Valley girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yas, bitch, slay.
Why does that sound? Why does that sound like Imperfect Cell?
Because that's literally
bit,
what
yeah.
his voice is.
Yeah.
My precious modeling career.
You want to see me drink this guy? All right.
See me drink. Piccolo. Hello there, Piccolo.
The thing is, you're talking to a guy who has perfected Cell's voice.
Let me get some.
He knows.
Yes.
All right.
It's
Anyway,
not a hard voice, actually.
Let's-
I imagine after a while it'll probably be
So
difficult.
here's the thing.
oh,
It's not a hard voice to do, but if you're trying to get the abridged / actual voice, it's all in the tone because people decide rather than go down, they go up. So when people do the Cell voice,
Oh no, you gotta go real low.
when people do it,
They start going up high because they want to do that crazy Cell. When in actuality, he's about down here.
Mhm.
Oh, no.
Up until he says the one line. Want to see me drink this guy?
Yeah.
but that's
He
it's
only
And then he goes perfect.
He
That
only
was
goes
fucking
up
weird.
when he's yelling, but for the most part, Cell is always down, and everyone always constantly puts him up when he and make him higher when he's not.
remember
He's
when I
generally
drank that guy? That was fucking
Cell-
weird.
Cell naturally
what he was
just has
talking about
a
this
menacing thing. He's never always screaming.
He's always around down here.
All right.
Yeah,
You
be
s-
that cool,
this
young
sucks.
collected.
You suck. I'm
Shit,
the only
Sherlock,
one that sucks
first
around
name,
here.
no.
That's
Babe.
not wrong.
Do you mind? I'm coming your album.
All right. We'll be here forever.
60
We haven't even
punches him.
begun reading, guys.
All right, later, everyone.
All right,
Check
thank you,
out
Carson.
PDW. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
You.
Oh, that was.
If that
smooth.
wasn't enough PDW for all of you, and if that wasn't enough Carson for all of you, go see PDW. Go to the PDW channel. Toby is looking at me so weirdly. Yes, I will let you out. You staring at me. You got your mouth open. Your tail's going everywhere. Hi. Oh, okay.
Be out of here.
Wants the pets.
Uh-huh.
Toby, your
No, he
voice.
Wants out. He wants out. That's what he wants. Well, you want out?
We want out.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, he wants out. All right.
There you go.
Come on, guys. Come on. All right.
Bye. I'll miss you.
I legit hope they
Is he
use that
gone?
for darkness.
Can I plug my YouTube channel? No. Shit.
No.
All
I
right.
can't plug my YouTube channel.
Guys,
No. you
really
can't.
quickly, Spider, you
No.
weren't here, so you're just redeeming all the wrong shit. You're redeeming
Mhm.
all the wrong shit, guys.
Wait,
I
what?
said this before
Oh.
when I was doing the stream earlier. You guys overdid the push-ups on the Pokemon thing, and the one thing you didn't get enough
Oh.
of was the heel touches. So I want to see
Healing
a
touch.
shit ton of heel touches. I don't care whether you don't care. I can reject all your shit then, Spider. Because I don't
Heel
care.
touch. Heel touch.
Yeah.
Heel touch.
No, it's a heel touch. So you
Touch.
gotta get up
Touch.
there.
Oh. Oh, I get
It's a
it.
heel
You
touch.
redeemed
No, we
everything?
want the foot cam.
Stop
That's a
it, you're
fetish.
exciting the foot crowd.
That's okay.
We're gonna,
That's okay.
we're
What
gonna
do we
if I
got?
like
and
that?
Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark as Rimaruist Reverend and Rimaruism, those have been completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is all Fenris. Okay. So you just,
we
I
stop
mean,
this reading. I'm going to get some water.
Spider's whole thing is he only redeems like one of everything. And that's, and
He redeemed the wrong
he only
one this
redeems
time.
he only redeems one of everything. And that's not good enough because never in 1,000 years is that enough for everything. Let's see that you can. All right, return that to sender. All right, everybody stretch. We're gonna get a good stretch in. Oh god, I'm gonna I redeemed your. I rejected your jumping jacks because pants reasons. For pants reasons, I reject your jumping jacks.
I see.
We've got a lot of heel
But I'm
touches,
doing
so
the
we're
Dragon
good.
Ball stretch with the legs.
Well, there's no limit.
Wah!
There's no limit to what you can like. It's not like 40 and that's it. It's like redeem it. We do it at the end of the show.
It's just we only do 40 at most.
No, it's not.
No. We do whatever
I
they
think that's what we did in the
request.
past.
That's what
No,
he
that-
did when he
you-
was
the
alone
rules-
doing
Yeah.
it throughout the stream.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. You're right.
The
You're
rules
right.
Yeah.
have changed, so
The rules have
Now,
changed.
now that we're only
We're all in
doing
the
it,
same boat.
now that we're only doing it once and it's at the end of the stream, it's kind of what they redeem. And
They can
considering
kill
that,
us if they want.
considering that most
please
of the time,
don't.
considering
Please
that,
don't.
No.
considering that
Because
most,
I said that, they probably will. Sorry.
considering that most of the time they don't give us a lot. Okay, redeemed
That
10
has changed today.
crunches and push-ups, which was way too much. Jesus Christ, dude.
He's been sitting on those for a while.
Heel touches, heel touches. Yeah, heel touches are the things we need the most of.
Get that core going.
Mm.
Okay, I think he's redeeming 30 of everything, basically. Okay.
This is what you
I-
get for calling him out, I guess.
I told you there wasn't a limit anymore.
True.
I think they all knew that since the
Mm-hmm.
previous couple streams, so.
Like, literally, I had to do 40.
They should have.
You missed it. Here's what was happening on the Arceus stream today. Anytime a Pokemon fainted, Rick spun an RNG-based wheel, and I had to immediately do that exercise. Most of the times when I went up against an alpha, I had 3 Pokemon faint. Secondly,
Alphas are tough.
Secondly,
Just run.
Yep.
every 30 minutes, I redeem whatever exercises were posted. So there was a time I literally was right here a couple hours ago doing 40 squats in one go.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and Rick is an asshole, and he redeemed a lot of that stuff. I got a workout today, and I've still not finished because we got this. Also,
I need a workout
unfortunately
today, so
for
this is gonna be great.
Shim, we're gonna go over tonight because
Yep,
we spent
of course.
almost an
So-
hour with this goofing off. So
Triggered.
Yeah,
yeah,
I am not getting sleep tonight.
I'm
I
sorry.
just kind of accepted that quietly.
I am sorry, dude. I wasn't
I am
expecting
just
it to go like
accepting
that.
that quietly.
Now, lastly, did everybody get the text that I sent them?
Yes.
Yes.
Which one? Which one are you talking about?
The lines.
Darkness.
Darkness
Oh
is
yeah,
line.
yeah, I got it.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna do it. Okay, I'll start us off.
Oh, I should probably
Then
do that.
Shim, I'm gonna call on you next. Then it'll be
Okay.
Moon. Then it'll be Sonic, and that's how we close it out. This is gonna be the end of goofing off for the hour. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're gonna like really jump into the book, guys.
Yep.
In the audience right now, you can redeem voices, but here's how it goes from now on. If you don't redeem the voice, if you redeem a voice too early, sucks to be you, but that person that's reading, when they're reading, that's the voice they're going to do. So if you meant it to be for someone else, too bad, so sad.
There we go. Now I got it.
And here's another stipulation I'm putting in. And this one is now going to favor our readers. If they don't want to do that voice, they can reject it. I will
Oh.
go in and actually reject it. Your points will be refunded, but they can decide if they're not comfortable or they physically can't do that voice. Because at the end of the day, these are actors, they're performers, this is their instrument. And if this is a problem, or if that voice is something that they feel they're not comfortable with doing, I want to give them that option. They're people, not robots. So, and guys, you're redeeming channel points, not actual money. So this isn't a fucking jukebox. You don't insert coins and out comes the magic voice.
The
I mean,
magic
if you
voice.
pay for it,
We will attempt.
that's
Would be
a
nice.
different
Bits.
story.
On the bits.
That having been said, I want to give them more freedom in their choices. So just know that what we're about to read is not going to have a voice put on it. And the first person up is me, so I guess I'm doing Callie from the Valley for the actual book. So there we are. Yeah, you can freely request now, but just
It's all for the book.
yeah. All right, good storm blowing in. Ari. Okay, here we go. So I will start us off. All right, so it's supposed to be frantic and horny. There's no time for these games, Kazuma. He wants me to go to his castle, where he'll most likely take me to his dungeon and proceed to bleep me with a hard bleep on a stone table. And then, when he's had enough of my screams, he'll shove me a bleep down my mouth and bleep me for bleeping all the bleep with bleep all over the bleep, and the juices will flow down around my ankles until he finally finishes with a bleep in my bleep by bleeping a giant bleep with a bowl of clam chowder and a can opener. All right, there we go on that. I said bleep so much, my phone did things.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, good. No one
Probably
can
thought
just
you were trying to
barge
speak
be like,
binary.
Beep. 1001110010001.
Whoa, that's
sir.
hot. Okay, careful, man.
Whoa.
Ah,
Whoa,
that's
hold
hot.
on. You
That's
gotta be
hot.
careful there. You said one more one there. You might get demonetized on Twitch.
Oh no, not the bleeping.
Mayhaps be.
You gotta be
All right.
careful with those ones and zeros.
Shim, you are up.
There's no time for these games, Kazuma. He wants me to go to his castle, where he'll most likely take me to his dungeon and proceed to bleep me with a hard bleep on my bleep.
Yeah, you don't have to
I wish I
actually
had
do
an
the
actual
bleep
sensor.
sound effect.
I can
You
just,
could just
I
say
can just cut
bleep.
myself off
You could just say
Okay.
bleep if you want, and just
Okay.
whatever voice you're doing.
with a hard bleep on a bleepy on a stone table. And then when he's had enough of my screams, he'll shove a bleep down my mouth and bleep my bleep for bleeping all the bleep will bleep all over the bleep, and the juices will flow down my ankles until he finally finished with bleep all of my bleep by bleeping a giant bleep with a bowl of clam chowder and a can opener. You don't understand.
No,
That was
you
hard
don't
to do. I wish I
understand.
had the-
Literally,
I wish
after
I
this
had
dialogue,
the
the
sensor.
whole time we're looking at, the whole time we're listening to this dialogue, it's just reaction faces from everyone.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just kind of like, I have tried a couple not safe for work roles,
Oh,
but
man,
I've
that's
been
great.
rejected by them. But I had to practice, so
Oh.
you gotta get that that wistful.
You know,
like
one
that
of these
kind of,
days,
like,
you know, one of the
hungry,
things. And guys, here's
yeah.
another reason why I'm highly pushing the Patreon, because
Mhm.
what we want to do for Slime Season 2 is some crazy shit. We need to hire an animator for Season 2 of Slime. Because one of the things
I know
that's
a couple on
happening,
YouTube, but-
one of the things that's happening is we're getting one of those hot and moist daydreams from Soka of Soe just in ultra uber sexy
Oh.
mode that
Oh,
we're
I can do
making
that.
Shim
That's
voice,
easy.
where he's
I
just
can do
like
that.
saying, just
That's easy. Like,
Let me-
Soka.
no, that's no. It's something like, let me slowly slide my kunai. It's like, no, like, God damn it.
Yeah. Yep.
Are they
It's too
doing-
spicy. It's too spicy.
Is,
Yeah.
is this from Slime Diaries Abridged? Is that a thing now? Or?
No, we
It's
have no
too spicy
plans.
for the chat.
I literally posted this
Okay.
in Patreon that we are not
Okay.
doing or have no plans to do Slime Diaries at the moment. We're literally,
yet.
we would literally hire an animator to do
Yeah.
like an overly sexy daydream-esque version of Soe from Soka's mind. Yeah,
I don't know
There's
if I
a
want
lot
that
of
to be my very first thing if I ever animated. No. I mean, I would have to
You'd
start
have to
literally
get
like
it-
I don't know how to
Here-
animate.
yeah, there's okay. There we go. We're gonna have to hire people that can at least closely match the art
Actually
from,
animate, yeah.
from Slime. Yeah, so we want to hire anime. Bow chicken. Wouch, that's sharp.
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh, he knows how to
Ouch,
use it.
that's sharp. All right.
Step bleep.
He knows how to use
One time
his
met two
command.
twins, bow chicka. Or no, two girls, bow chicka. And they're twins, bow wow.
Okay.
They're twins. Good.
All right, Moon, your turn.
Okay.
Welcome to the Bleeping Crusade.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
There's no time for these games, Kazuma. He wants me to go to his castle where he'll most likely take me to his dungeon and proceed to bleep me with a hard bleep on bleeping on a stone table. And then when he's had enough of my screams, he'll shove a bleep down my mouth and bleep my bleep for bleeping all the bleep. Will bleep all over the bleep, and the juices will flow down around my ankles until he finally finishes with bleep all of my bleep by bleeping a giant bleep with a bowl of clam chowder and a can opener.
Where's the crusade? If this is a crusade, where's the helmet? Oh.
There it is.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Crusade time!
Yes, sir.
Praise the sun!
Yeah. Make
Just gets his
chaos
shotgun ready.
take the world. Make chaos take the world. Sorry, I was playing Elden Ring.
What are you doing? Summoning a spirit
If this
bomb?
is a counselorship, where is the ambassador? No,
I'm lost.
I am your stepfather.
Oh, I get it. That's a Star Wars. That's a thing by Disney now. I get it. That's a Darth Vader.
We'll call it a draw.
That's what Spock. Yeah, I like that.
A drop!
You got a good
Your leg,
guy,
you're
right?
missing your legs!
Okay, Shem, for this next one,
Mm-hmm.
you must bring me a shrubbery.
A shrubbery. No. Stop saying the word.
All right.
No. What was it?
Could you imagine
stop
if this
saying
is
the
the
word.
face you see, and this is the voice that comes out? Can you believe that? Wow.
Do you have Arnold
Da-
Schwarzenegger in the can?
Arnold
You thought it was me, Dio,
That's what it sounds
but
like.
it was Gail
That sounds
Gibson
like
this
it.
whole time. Wow.
Do you have Arnold Schwarzenegger in a can? Well, you better go catch him. Or you better let him out. No.
Excuse me, do you have Prince Albert in a can?
hat.
Well, you
Yes.
better let the poor guy out. Aha! Aha! Aha!
I bet she
Yes.
gives great helmet. All right. It is now Sonic's turn.
Yeah. Do it.
According to my country's rich history.
There's no time for these games, Kazuma. He wants to take me to go to. Sorry. He wants me to go to his castle where he'll most likely take me to his dungeon and proceed to bleep me with a hard bleep on a bleeping on a oh, I'm sorry. My cough came in.
You know it's bad. You know it's bad when they can't finish it.
He hasn't bleeped your bleep yet. I don't know why you're coughing so much.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
You haven't even bleeped your bleep yet.
He wants me to
Yeah.
go to his
You gotta
castle.
really
He'll
bleep
most
that bleep,
likely
you know?
take me on to his dungeon and proceed to bleep me with a hard bleep on a bleeping on a stone table. And then when you have enough of my screams, he'll shove a bleep down my mouth and bleep my bleep for all bleeping. The bleep will bleep all over the bleep, and then the juices will flow down around my ankles until he finally finishes with the bleep all of my bleep by bleeping a giant bleep up with a bowl of clam chowder and a can opener.
All right, this one's gonna get even better.
Oh boy.
I try to do more of like the dub voice, but then I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna go for it.
All right, so here
Maybe
we go.
if I read it out loud a bit more off screen.
Last one. And I'm gonna actually have to put this in front of me. There's no time for these games, Cosima. He wants me to go to his castle where he'll most likely take me to his dungeon and proceed to me with a hard on a stone table. And when he's had enough of my screams, he'll shove up down my mouth and me for my all over the and the juices will flow down around my ankles until he finally finishes with a all over my ing a giant with a bowl of clam chowder and a can opener.
Bleep is what threw me off the most because I had to like stop reading
Alphonse
and then just
Elric
bleep.
goes wild.
I kind of wanna edit this speech so that at the
I
end of the
can't
episode, you do,
ears
like, the DBZ
anymore.
thing. I was gonna say you could smack yourself.
Ears anymore?
Kind of like the Vegeta thing where they were like, "Why the fruit does this always all this funny stuff happen?"
Yes.
To me? It'd be that, but just translated. So it'd be like,
Oh.
"He's gonna take me to his castle and feed me with a hard spoon, a meal down my throat," and just completely out of context, silly stuff.
Why the
That would
fruit
make
does
sense.
all this ridiculous
This
stuff
funny
happen?
stuff happened to me. Yeah,
Forget
Get
my
my
life.
yeah.
Bid me over.
That would be a
and
funny.
find me
nod.
in the Alps
Yeah,
Oh god.
with a goddamn
a
pig.
fancy barbecue with a goddamn pig.
Yeah,
So oolong.
yeah, basically.
Isn't that in the Broly movie, basically? Like, they have a... I mean, I know it's a potluck, but it kind of happened.
Oh, a fancy barbecue with a goddamn pig. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a wedding. Did they,
This
actually,
is
no,
what
did they
the
have
gay
barbecue
agenda
there?
looked like up close
That's not my
with a
what.
goddamn pig. I respect the commitment to that bit, Richie. Thank you.
I kind
Thank
of
you.
do want to read that line. Obviously not right now, but
Why
like,
is
I
my
wanted to have time with
everything
that.
ringing?
Why can't I feel my
everything?
everything?
There it is. There's the goddamn pig. He's getting closer.
God
Yeah.
damn it, pig.
All right.
Is that-
It is now 9 o'clock. We have wasted an entire hour.
Yay.
We start reading for 2 hours. or whatever, we've actually finished the chapter. The 2 hours would normally start an hour ago. But no, two.
Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation, please open your holy books of Remuism
Okay.
to chapter 5 of volume 7 of the holy word of our Lord, Rimuru Tempest.
I should just get a
Very
Almost
nice,
lost
yes.
my headphones.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it. My headphones are way too loose for it. If I had the earbuds, then that'd be one thing.
Let's get ready to tumble.
And try not to fumble.
How dare you?
Yes, sir.
But make sure you have some cookies nearby to crumble.
I have
You don't
Oreos.
want
Does that
to
count?
Stop! I just realized what we're doing and we can't have another hour of fucking rhymes.
Damn it!
Well, no. I was genuinely saying.
Because I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be an
Serious.
hour of food shit, isn't it? And I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, it is.
Ah, shit. Here we go again. All right, let's start reading.
Here we go
Just
again.
hard
Just
right
gotta
into it.
be
Go.
humble about it.
Okay.
No, he didn't catch it.
Oh. No, I caught it. I'm just ignoring it.
Damn it!
Let's see. What do we have here?
ASMR.
The battle begins.
Is there actually an ASMR thing?
Or began.
There
yeah.
is.
Mhm.
I saw Callie from the Valley. We're also getting ASMR.
Yep. Combine them.
No.
Darn.
No, I'm not getting. I'm not doing.
How do you
Callie
do?
from
How
the
would you even
ASMR.
do that?
Oh my god! Like, can
Carefully.
you?
Okay,
believe it?
guys, welcome to a Callie's retrospective.
No,
All right,
stop!
so
Stop! Stop!
today-
Stop!
What is this, amethyst?
My eyes.
Well, that's the stream. Bye, everybody. Like if we can't even keep it together this long, why are we trying?
I didn't say.
So,
I
like,
blame darkness.
shut up. We've had an hour to goof off. Now it's serious mode. All right. So, like, the battle began. All right, I know I'm doing this voice, but do not let that deter from the fact that I said we're in serious mode, you bitches.
Ah, yeah, sure.
Like,
We're
we're in serious. I love that. We're in serious mode. So, like, the battle began.
That's.
Yeah. All right, now it's on you. So continue.
Renard was like the vice captain of the Crusader forces, commanding them, as they caught up with Hinata on her journey, he himself wasn't a paladin exactly. He was like a holy wizard, a master of sorceress magic, that kind of stuff. Like, oh my god.
I don't
Anyway.
care for him that much.
You know what, Palpy? Why don't you wait your own turn? It's not your turn to read, it's my turn to read. You need to calm yourself down. Why don't you take a 5-minute mani-pedi,
That actually does sound really nice.
Yeah, your nails are in terrible condition. You need to get that shit fixed, girl.
I'm working. I need to go to my guy. My guy's out for the
Hush!
week.
Not your speaking time, my speaking time. I have the talking stick. Okay? Anyway. All right, muting all of you on stream. That was like a special case, one that only those who like mastered elemental, effectual, and holy magic could claim to be. Like, oh my god, why would anybody choose to be asexual? Ew. And yet, oh no. All right. The only ASMR voice I know is Jean Arc, so we're gonna do ASMR Jean Arc. Pyrrha, get out of the shot! All right. And yet, Renard was just as adept with a holy sword, using his own to lead several missions. Even hiding his holy wizard side, he was still laudable enough as a paladin to serve as a commander and eventual crusade vice captain. I'm going to go ahead and just mark these as completed now. There we go. All right. It all came down to his talents, those beautiful sword skills. If Arnaud's sword was a blunt weapon, Renard's had a softer touch. This is the worst dialogue to have to read in this voice. It was a softer touch. Both were exemplary fighters, but Arnaud had a slight edge, thanks to the tenacity that never failed him in battle. In a knockdown drag-out against a formidable monster, beautiful technique was often less important than brute force. That difference earned Arnaud the crown among his peers. But thanks to that genius-level magic skill, Renaud had proven himself more than worthy as a spell-casting swordsman. His physical technique wasn't quite up to Arnaud's style, but if he fought in a more standard magic sword hybrid style instead of hiding the sorcery that he usually did, he was just as phenomenal a talent. In fact, as Renard himself gauged it, he could probably outclass Arnaud in strength.
Got a redemption for Sanders.
Of course. Of course.
Colonel Sanders is coming to town.
Of course. To a paladin, however, one's proficiency in effectual magic wasn't really part of the evaluation. It was more of a given, with some paladins even capable of fusing their own elemental spirits with effectual magic to launch powerful spells with no casting time. That is amazing. Imagine if you could merge 2 jobs into one and not have to work 3 jobs to keep food on the table. And whatever
Sounds
nonsense that Shim is doing on screen.
Interpretive hand motions.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
He's
Don't.
If you've ever wanted to
For
know
those who
what
are-
interpretive dance looks like with just hands, it's kind of that. Anyway, where was I? Aspectual magic by itself took longer to cast than spirit magic, and while it was often more powerful in close-range combat, speed was the most important priority. Renard was no exception to that maxim, hence his focus on sword skill. True strength, as he saw it, lay at the end of his quest to master the blade. Adding holy elements to his almost divinely quick thrust allowed him to slice through pretty well anything, as he saw it. This thought was with him ever since an experience that still rang vividly in his mind. Back when he was a student, he studied abroad in a small nation that fell under the threat of a demon lord Valentine. It was Hinata, freshly ordained as a paladin at the time, who came to the rescue, and in a word, she was strong. A single swipe of her rapier obliterated waves of teeming monsters. Even demons several times a human size were helplessly mowed down. Hinata's arrival saved that nation's people from the desperation they faced, and ever since then, Renard found himself attracted to the charms of that sword. The charms of the sword. Let me mark that. All right. Even as he polished his spirit magic skills, he constantly recalled Hinata's rapier in action, attempting to emulate her in his daily training. Once he had gained a mastery of magical arts, he returned to his academy in Iglesia, learning about aspectual magic as he awaited a chance to move to the Holy Empire of Lubelius. I was waiting.
There we go. Oh,
Bless you again.
I was waiting on that. Yeah.
it's always two.
No. I've sneezed 6 times in a row, buddy. You never know
Oh,
what
I always have two.
Lucky for you. I never know what it's going to be.
Of course, I have a cough instead, so.
All right. This was a difficult task for outsiders, but his adherence to luminism and proven skills as an outstanding talent earned him a nod from their government. He pounced on the offer, even though it meant cutting ties with his family. Upon completing the move, he took up holy magic and earned a spot as a trainee paladin. The spirit he forged a pact with was affiliated with light, as pure and unblemished as the soul of the one they called the Paladin of Light. All right, Shim, it's your turn.
Hey. After joining the Paladin Guard, it took comparatively little time for Renard to become Hinata's personal aide. He took the initiative to volunteer for any mission, no matter how reckless, and the results he provided his newly adopted nation made his qualifications eminently clear. Hinata could count many people as her rivals, Arnaud and Fritz, both of whom arrived at the same time she did, even Cardinal Nicholas, who was just as cold-hearted and crafty as Hinata herself. As for her admirers, there was no way to even begin counting them. Being an aide to such a paladin was a source of boundless pride to Renard. And yet, Renard, there's something I want you and only you to know. Right after Archbishop Raham's sensational murder, Renard was beckoned by the 7 Days clergy. There, he had an unspeakable truth revealed to him. Hinata, she was involved, shall we say, with the demon lord Valentine. We were about to kill Valentine, you see. But before we could, he revealed that to us as he begged for mercy. The revelation made Renard's head go blank. Hinata, this woman he looked up to so much in a liaison with Valentine, it meant she was pulling the wool over his eyes the whole time.
Godfrey.
If it was true... Oh, okay. If it was true, it was a betrayal the pure-minded Renard could never allow. It seemed impossible that the clergy, these great heroes, would be lying. But it seemed just as impossible that Hinata would deceive her own paladins. Good. Perhaps, though, it is true that Valentine has been inactive as of late. Oh, this is it. Lady Hinata should be more powerful than enough to slay him, but she showed no interest in that at all. Hinata had enough force to dispatch Valentine. Renard was sure of that much. The battle sage Sare's briefing made Hinata's victory all but assured in his mind. She must have had her own motivations, of course, but the thought still troubled Renard. Good. The clergy continued. Of course, it may have been a desperate lie from Valentine, but that's not the end of the story, you see. As hard as it is to believe, we have seen signs that she has attempted to connect herself to the demon lord Rimuru. Would it not be unthinkable normally to see someone like the good Archbishop Rahim killed in his holy land? But Renard's mind was a world of confusion. But Lady Hinata's faith is more stalwart than anyone I know. How could she betray us, to say nothing of our god? Yes, there's the rub, Renard. We, too, have our suspicions about that. But perhaps it is the other way around. Perhaps it is Hinata who is playing an intrigue game against us, and Luminous. We cannot call it an impossibility. There is one way we could settle these doubts for sure. What is it? Renard half shouted, accepting the bait. The clergy was silent for a moment before continuing. If we tell you, there will be no turning back. This is not a question we can afford to make into a public matter, not until we prove Hinata's innocence. But Renard's mind was already made up, led expertly into the trap the clergy laid for him with their words. I accept the risk. I promise I will prove to the world that Lady Hinata is innocent. Yes. You will help us then, Renard. It will likely be a dangerous task. Renard simply looked on, waiting for them to continue. Defeat the demon Lord Rimuru. Do that, and we will have our answer. If Hinata is connected to him, she will no doubt stage a desperate rush to stop you. This was enough to throw even Renard's confidence. But Veldora! This response was what the 7 days expected. Do not lose your resolve. Calm yourself and think. Has the evil dragon truly awoken? Don't you think all of that is simply wishful thinking? This reminded Renard of a key fact. The only people who claimed to know firsthand that Veldora was back were Hinata and the Holy Emperor. So you're saying Veldora remains asleep? That is highly probable. Not even Rayham personally witnessed the dragon, as we understand. It may even be the case that Hinata is deceiving the Holy Emperor himself. A whirlpool of doubt began to spiral in Renard's mind, just as the clergy wanted, and Hinata has already encountered. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
He's already
Has
doing
already
it.
encountered.
Yeah, I heard.
Has already encountered Rimuru once. We believe that this was the moment that she fell under the demon lord's spell. If she has been doing Rimuru's bidding ever since. The scales in Renard's heart began to tilt. Yes, he naturally began to think. Hinata needs to be saved, and I am the only one who can save her. Indeed. Yes, I am sure you are not mistaken. Lady Hinata would never willfully deceive us. If she is unwittingly doing someone else's bidding, that would clear her of any doubt on your part, correct? The 7-day clergy nodded their heads solemnly. It would, if you are able to do so. There would be no suspicion. But it will be dangerous. They seemed to be testing Renard's resolve. They didn't need to. Then please, allow me to take on the task. His mind was made up. Hinata needed his salvation. And if she had been deliberately lying to all the paladins that served her, he wasn't afraid to strike her down, should it come to that. Very well. It shall be yours to handle. The resolve is strong, you see. Do us proud, Renard. Thus he set off in direct violation of Hinata's orders.
And now it's Moon's turn.
By the time he was inside the Forest of Jura, Renard's suspicion had grown to indisputable fact in his mind. Veldora resurrected? Nonsense. There were far too few magic tools in the air to make that an even remote possibility. Which meant that Hinata had most likely betrayed all of Luminism, a fact that Renard hardly wanted to consider, even as he continued his undaunted advance. And then, just as he fanned out the troops under his command and attempted to launch a holy field, he was attacked by monsters, as if they had waited for that exact moment to strike. Could it be that Lady Hinata has sold us out? His companion guard asked. That she learned of our actions and tipped the demon lord off to them? If Hinata is connected to him, she will no doubt stage a desperate rush to stop you. The words of the clergy rang in Renard's mind, but now was no time for measured thought. He instantly sent the order to fight back, and with that, the battle was on.
Joker.
Their enemies were... Joker?
Yeah. Can
God.
you do it, or
Interesting.
do you want to
I
reject
think
it?
I can.
Okay.
Their enemies were stronger than expected. But as it turned out,
Oh, shit.
he had not seen
out.
Do it. I'm trying.
It's okay.
He had
This
not
is for
seen
practice,
them
too.
yet. Just as Renard was beginning to sense his position was in danger, out came the Oni, those detestable nightmare-like presences falling out from the sky. They hit the ground, crushing it like an explosion and sending plumes of dust into the air.
Okay.
And Callie from the Valley.
Yep, Callie from the Valley is next.
We've got some big fish, observed Guard as he readied his spear. Renard nodded back at him, then calmly gave his orders. Oh, it was steamy. Apart from the two of them, there were 4 paladins nearby. The rest of the force engaged with other monsters.
In a moment, these four finished their preparations as ordered. They were so timely. The entire group was enveloped in light, forming a powerful defensive barrier. Spiritual armor, the ultimate in protection for a paladin. This armor came in the form of holy mail, light as a feather and imbued with the power to summon the spirits each paladin had forged a pact with. This granted them unfettered access to these spirits' powers, and what's more, the evil-quelling abilities added to their weapons neutralized all resistances in their foes, letting them strike for damage at every opportunity. All of this consumed a great deal of energy, and thus could not be manifested for very long. But with it, the paladins were the true natural enemies of all monsters. Readied for battle, the four paladins spread out in all directions, focused on their targets. They would be deploying a simplified holy field, and not a moment too soon, because the enemies they detected ahead were almost uncannily powerful. In particular, the magic-born standing before them had a gigantic amount of magical energy. Like none he had seen before, it was an A rank, and on the higher end of this scale. Not Rimuru himself, no, but likely one of his closest associates. It was, in Reynard's mind, an appetizer before the main dish of the Demon Lord. He wanted to end this fast so he could move on to the biggest fish in the pond, and so he opted to leave nothing on the table for his first strike. Launch the holy field toward the target! But his lack of foresight would cost him. The order was laid out before he had a full grip of his adversary. The four paladins sprang into action, deploying the holy barrier. The execution was perfect. Nothing could have broken out of it from the inside. But it was not complete. A quasi-barrier with a short range and less of a weakening effect on monsters. It could prevent a foe from taking action, but could it fully block attacks from beyond the barrier? That was an open question. This barrier was deployed in the shape of a pyramid, about 15 feet to a side, but it left open the possibility of the target launching a large-scale spell before all its magicules were banished. In such a case, perhaps the attack could reach outside the barrier after all. That was one reason why most barriers were built to be much larger than this. But to be fair, even this quasi-barrier could fully prevent magicules from crossing over. It was a paladin's killer move, one that not even the higher-level Magicborn could break through. Thus, Renard ordered his team to deploy the barrier, keeping a careful eye on all of them. The purifying light surrounding them wouldn't be enough to kill a target like this, so a stout defense was a necessity. They could attack the foe from the outside, but they'd need to be sure what he was first. If it was one of the rarer types that could deflect damage, care would be required to avoid a massacre. They couldn't afford any mistakes. As the paladins wrapped up all their preparations, the dust from the landing finally dissipated. There, in front of them, was a single monster, a slender, tall female with long, purplish hair tied back.
Y'all done fucked up now.
On her forehead was a single horn, jet black in color, and the strange suit she wore struck the curiosity of anyone who saw it. Her violet eyes turned toward Reynard. My name is Shion, first secretary for Sir Rimuru. My leader has the following message for you. Choose between submission or death. I am sure you are all intelligent enough to know what those words mean. Drop your weapons and surrender to my forces at once, she declared haughtily. The monster, calling herself Shion, gazed down like some sort of deity as she spoke. Her emphasizing the word first was noticeable across the whole of the wood.
Fucking such a
Reynard
jealous idiot.
Yeah. Reynard sized up his foe, judging her abilities. He had thought her magicule count put her on the high A's, but now even this seemed like folly. A terrific sight, special A. Or perhaps she could even become a demon lord if everything came together just right. Judging by the horn, she was an advanced member of the ogre family, an ogre mage, or maybe higher, an oni, Reynard thought. A mere hop, skip, and jump away from Demon Lord. And a named oni, definitely a calamity of a threat, or worse, disaster even. Should she ever take that plunge into lorddom, at least one oni of the past he knew held a force that was divine in nature, giving them control over nature itself. They were less monsters and more lower-level gods. He was plainly right to have his team treat her with extreme caution. Sorry to disappoint you, Shion calmly replied, but I am no god, As much as I may resemble one, I am an Oni, and something tells me that you think I'm a lot nicer than I truly am. Niceness is something nobody facing Shion would accuse her of right now. They had no idea what made her entertain that notion, but really, it was just Shion's way of warning them. An Oni. Perhaps there is not much difference, no, but it matters not to us. Divine or not, you are nothing but an evil monster in our eyes. The only god in our dictionary is the one god, Luminous. This was the core tenet of the Holy Empire of Lubelius, and it was not to be defied. They would never recognize another god, even one with some degree of regional support among the people. If they do not declare themselves to be gods, then fine. But if so, they must be destroyed. Plus, this was just a monster. No matter how much power it wields, there was no need to go easy on a minion of a demon lord. Ha! Ha! It's funny because he is a minion of a demon lord in a way.
Yeah.
It was this belief that made Renard respond the way he did. Shion's retort to this was entirely unexpected. I don't care about your god. You have your choice. Now give me your response. Submission or death? The non-offer rankled Renard deeply. Silence, evil beast! The world shall be purified of unclean creatures like yourself! Enraged, he ordered his paladins to launch a holy cannon barrage, one of the few offensive spells in the holy magic family. It worked on the magicule level, dissembling the particles.
No, you said it right. Dissembling.
Yeah, dissembling the particles to rob monsters of the very essence that formed their bodies. On a human target, it would merely knock them unconscious with its force. On a monster, it would wipe out their very existence. While it didn't work on targets imbued with holy elements, monsters were particularly weak against it. For unlike the natural elements of earth, water, fire, and wind, the darkness element was incapable of canceling out the holy element. Without angelic holy magic, it was impossible to block the holy cannon. Accepting Renard's order, the paladins went on the attack, firing bolts of holy energy from all sides towards Shion. But she just stood there serenely, the massive blade in her hands deflecting all the energy away. Then, with a dejected, "Why don't they listen to me?" expression, she turned to Renard once more. Is that your answer? If you refuse to submit, then that means it's time to die. Even Renard was shocked, but he wasn't about to submit to this. Whether this was some local god or not, she was already inside the holy field. All they had to do was keep the barrier going, wait for the target to falter under it, and strike the final blow. But even as he thought that, Renard had to offer Shion praise for her masterful sword skills. She had to be at least a bit weakened by now, but the speed of her moves was every bit a match for his own. Not even he could hide his surprise. That blade, whatever it was, held the ability to deflect holy energy, which was extremely unusual. Given Holy Cannon's magicule corroding effects, any demonic blade offered up against it should have disintegrated into dust, but that large sword looked as fine as ever. Then one of the paladins handling the barrier and offense let out a pained groan. A holy cannon bolt had struck him. No. Can anyone even do that? Renard was shocked.
Renard.
Here. Damn it. Renard was shocked. Renard. Like Bernard, but with an R.
Yeah.
Like Picard,
Here.
but yeah. You don't call him
Yeah.
Pickard.
Bernard. Pickard.
Here she was, apparently taking this holy energy within herself, focusing it on her sword, and literally firing it back at her foes. From a common sense perspective, it was absolutely impossible, requiring precision on the level of single instances in time, and Shion was pulling it off without breaking a sweat. Hurriedly, he stopped the attack. The paladin fortunately was still conscious, albeit rattled. They would just need to stay calm and figure out another approach. But this move had rattled them all. Attacks going through a holy field and striking them were beyond their imagination, an unthinkable circumstance for any paladin. Renard had to bottle it all up as he pondered his next move.
I love that.
Shion.
I love that comment from Ryuma.
Oh, shit.
Was that supposed to do anything? Because that only did two things: Jack and shit.
Jack and shit.
I am Pickard Rick. Oh
It
my
only did
God.
two things to me: Jack and shit.
No, all right.
shit I've
So
ever
My
seen.
name is Shion. Surrendered, I promise you.
I'm Pickard Rick.
Bog is right. Cooking is OP. That's literally what she's using, her cooking skill.
Oh my god.
Serious?
Yes! Yes!
That's
Cooking
amazing.
allows her to do that shit?
It's so fucking broken, you don't even
no,
understand!
Go back, run that back. Explain. You have explaining to do, sir.
Keep reading.
It'll probably
Keep
do it,
reading.
Okay, fine. Moon, keep you reading.
It's
We need to.
so
trying.
fucking OP! It is so fucking OP.
Shion, for her part, was alarmed, or really annoyed, that she wasn't seeing the full effect she intended. She had made a clean hit on that paladin, but the damage was negligible. It made her realize that whatever this attack was, it was much less effective on humans than monsters. She had underestimated her foes, and now she was inside this barrier, a clear mistake. But she was expecting this from the start. She had her own ideas about this. And if anything, this was exactly what Shion wanted. This binding force was something akin to the holy field Rimuru warned her about. It was similar in nature, and the magicule count inside it was beginning to fall. Soon, before very long, Shion's own force would be affected, and the spatial motion she surreptitiously tried out a moment ago was blocked. Still, this had all been factored into her plan. Pardon me. Hey! She suppressed her anger as she forced a smile. Surrender now while I'm still being nice to you. It was incredibly haughty of her, not to mention nothing that'd ever shake the will of a paladin, but she was dead serious about it. That, of course, didn't come across. Fool! Guard shouted back. Enough of that bluster! You can't do a thing, locked inside this barrier! This howling did nothing to ease Shion's frustration. She was almost ready to explode, and given how short her fuse usually was, she thought she was doing an exemplary job at keeping it together. It may only be a matter of time now, but still, Shion continued trying to reason with them. Look, I'm being fully honest when I say that Sir Rimuru ordered me to avoid killing you as much as possible. Right now, I can promise you that I won't hit anyone. In fact, I can even let you try some of my famous cuisine. A wonderful idea, wouldn't you agree? This is your last warning. What'll it be? Her proposal.
Anyone who knows what Shion's cooing is not gonna go. It's
no,
not gonna go well.
No.
I'd
It's,
rather take a arms.
no. She
It
has
tastes
the
good
new,
now, that's the thing.
It tastes good now, and she's actually learning how to properly cook. Yeah.
Her proposal was
Well, I
far
don't
too
know.
haughtily given for anyone to accept. The Holy Field's effects only accumulated over time as it purified the magicules caught inside. No magicules means no magic, no mystic arts, no divine force, no magical manipulation, and nothing that impacted the laws of nature. Only the special skills one may or may not have escaped its effects.
Which
To the
cooking is a goddamn skill. It is not affected by this fucking field.
That is so stupid.
Here's the
To
thing.
the paladins.
Here's the thing. Under cooking is a thing called guarantee results.
Guaranteed result.
That's the kicker, isn't it?
I love it.
You don't understand. You don't understand. She can slice through space because of guaranteed results. It's basically like having the ability to roll a nat 20 whenever you want.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
she's
now that I've described it that way, you understand how broken cooking is.
Absolutely.
You can't
So
lose.
if you're telling me if she played any gotcha game, she'd get the 5-star first shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang, I want that now. I
So the
want
paladins-
that.
I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this because most people who get the cooking skills aren't fighters. It's
Most.
so goddamn broken if you incorporate the cooking skill into your fighting style.
She
To the paladins
multi-classed and
surrounding
became
her.
broken.
Yeah, sorry.
To the paladins surrounding
Got-
her, Shion's bluster merely surrounded like a barrage of poor excuses. But it must be noted that the Holy Field was not a defensive barrier. It wholly shut off all magicule interaction, but afforded no resistance to objects or blunt physical energy. If you triggered an explosion inside the barrier, for example, it'd still send a shockwave and shrapnel outside of it. The paladins, fully aware of this, were approaching this battle in full armor for a reason. We in the paladin force, Renard replied, even as he failed to fully calm his anxiety, do not negotiate with monsters. I see no need to discuss matters with you further. That was enough to push Shion's patience over the cliff. Well said. Have it your way then, and prepare to be subdued with a maximum of terror. Then she smashed her blade
for the
to the
burger.
ground. The force of it ripped through the air, filling it with dust and rocks once more. She grabbed bunches of them at once, hurling a fistful at the knight in front of her. Ah! A single moment, and then a mighty roar as a small explosion erupted in front of the paladin. The thrown rocks collided with the knight's shield, pulverizing it into scrap metal. The force of it was astounding. This was her in a weakened state. If it wasn't for the holy field, things would have been even worse. Don't let up! Focus on your spiritual armor! Yes, Guard added. Keep it up! Consider this a demon lord we're facing! The hapless, defenseless paladin hurriedly rebuilt a shield of light for himself.
The only
A
demon
shield.
lords they're familiar with are the unawakened kind.
They're fucked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
As Shion balled her
Shion is
fists.
kind of already at that level. Because remember when she 1v1 Clayman?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah!
So, okay, at this point, how many people in Rimuru's army are considered, besides Shion and Benimaru, obviously, who else is considered, like, Demon Lord level? Like, I know we're taking away from the reading, but this is a genuine
By
question.
this book, or where they're
By this
currently at
point.
and what's been released translated?
By the, like, what we're reading right now, basically.
Diablo, right?
But I would
Oh,
say I would say
guess Veldora,
I would
technically.
say there's 7 people. No, Veldora's way higher than a demon lord. A true dragon is
Well,
like,
at
considered.
that point onward, I guess I should
True
say.
dragons shouldn't even be considered on the same level as demon
Okay, that's
lords.
fair. We won't count Veldora.
Here's the thing. Guy wouldn't go up against Veldora if Veldora were serious.
Mhm.
Like
Ooh.
you do not fuck with Veldora. True dragons are above demon lords. That's kind of where it's at. Keep in mind, the very first true dragon, Veldanava, created the fucking world. He is
Another thing to
essentially
think about.
Veldora's father,
Veldora
right?
couldn't be
Nope,
killed. They
no.
just had to put him in a prison.
Veldora's older brother.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Veldora's oldest
So not even
brother.
on the same.
So here's the thing. They're not on that same level. Now, if you're asking me how many are demon lord level, or essentially basically how
Yes.
many people within Rimuru's charge are essentially
How
like
many people can beat Clayman?
are
basically?
demon lord seed carriers, because that's an important difference. 7
Ah, okay.
at the moment. 7 are capable of becoming true awakened demon
Benimaru,
lords.
Shion. Who else? Probably.
I'm not going to tell you. You'll find out later.
Okay.
When
Probably
you get
as this
to
goes on.
when you get to where I'm at, which is the post-war with the Empire, Rimuru starts handing out rewards. Those rewards being the souls of the people that they killed in the war being granted their energy. He basically he hacks, which is what Rimuru do because he has Raphael. They don't take the souls, they take the energy of the souls and convert it into something that they can take in, and he gives that energy
Basically, he makes
to
them demon lords.
and literally makes them true demon lords. But they don't join the council. They stay serving Rimuru. But they are equal in power to true demon lords. And then the Empire does something they really shouldn't have done. They fuck up, and they make Rimuru even stronger. Like, Rimuru's
Is that
pretty high up
making
there.
him absorb
He's
Veldora or
about-
something
he's-
else?
If you're talking about in terms of like power scale of the 8 demon lords, he's
Mm-hmm.
somewhere kind of maybe around the middle, maybe a little above the middle. But after what happens, he's literally equal with Milim.
Like, he can go up against Guy.
Like, no, yeah, all
Like,
three
he
of
can
them.
go a round
No,
or
I
two.
mean a round or two. They are literally equal in power.
Yeah.
That's how ridiculous that shit gets. All right, I won't go into
Continue.
why, but like, yeah, there's a power factor.
We'll get to that point.
Yeah, there's some dumb shit that happens. Please continue, Moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Shion balled her fists and stared at them all. Undoubtedly, she meant that to finish him off, and seeing it fail enraged her all over again. The gap between that and her apparent intelligence and good looks was hard to swallow. But at this point, even she had to realize this was going nowhere. Swallowing her anger, she spoke to Renard once more. I have an offer. We do not negotiate with monsters. I just told you that. Just listen to me. Like I said, I have orders not to kill you. But as part of that, I need to show you how much more powerful we are than you. Silence. I tried to go easy on those stones. I threw, but that's far more difficult than it sounds. If I go any further with you, I think I might wind up killing one or two of you. That's a bluff. Don't listen to her. This is a monster tactic meant to throw us into confusion. Shion smirked upon seeing the paladin's instinctual response. Ah, good. I'm glad you're catching my drift here. So my offer. Don't let her deceive you, Guard interrupted. Let her sweet words into your ears, and then for just a moment he felt something intensely hot around his right ear. Then came the impact, followed by the sound of the air being ripped apart behind it, rupturing his eardrum. Perhaps it was only his regular mental and physical training that saved him from a concussion. What was... Turning toward Guard, Renard was shocked to find a large tree behind him, torn away from its roots, sending splinters flying as it tumbled to the ground. It made him forget how to speak for a moment.
Is this what you meant by her slicing through space?
No! This isn't even that yet!
Oh,
That was
not-
her picking up a tree and throwing it before they could even see it.
She literally chucked a goddamn tree at them.
Colby!
Guard,
I mean, you
blood
gotta get the
dripping
message
from
across.
his ear, realized what had just happened. Shion had tossed another stone, in essence. That's all it was. But the fist-sized stone she chose had brushed past Guard's head at supersonic speed before smashing into and through the tree. She hadn't missed her target, of course. That ear was her target, and she nailed it. Do you even need your ears? If you don't bother using them, now shut up and listen! The paladins did as they were told.
I just imagined this. I just imagined this dude going, "Yes, ma'am."
Yeah, you're literally just like, okay. Doing the Japanese, like, humble pose or whatever.
Shion yeeted a
Kept
tree.
like,
Yes.
You freak of nature! Guard cursed her under his breath, but he couldn't will himself to move. Even Renard realized by now that Shion had to be listened to. A direct hit by one of those could potentially kill one of his men. Not even spiritual armor
Potentially.
was a bulwark against all physical force. With Shion's full strength now demonstrated, they had to admit that this wasn't a bluff at all. If she could fire bolts off faster than Guard the battle sage could react, it was doubtful that rank and filers could fare much better. Yes, hear her out. The longer this dragged on, after all, the weaker she would become. The longer this dragged on, after all, the weaker she would become. Renard's choice was clear. All right, let's hear your say. Shion gave him a satisfied nod, smiling defiantly. Good. Listen to me. I want all of you to hit me with the most powerful attack you have. I promise you that I'll take it squarely with my own body. If I stay standing, I win, and you submit to my forces. Sound good? Renard gave the utterly confident Shion a look of disbelief. Then a small doubt raised itself in his mind. Does she really not want to kill us at all? Because that was exactly how Shion had been acting this whole time. What for, though? But Renard didn't have time to think about it.
He's not Renard. It's Renard.
Renard.
Yeah.
Renard. Keep doing
You
it.
don't call him Picard. You call him Picard.
Renard didn't have time to think about it. Guard, half deaf, was already pointing his rage at her. All right, we'll take that offer. Men, seek up your spiritual force with me. Renard, you take control of it. That monster's too dangerous to keep alive. Hearing his own name, Renard snapped out of it. Wait, we need to talk it over. Silence! Let's do it! The other paladins began to pool their forces together as instructed. A torrent of holy power right at the apex of the holy field. This was then reduced to pure magical energy, amplified by an injection of Guard's own strength. Without Renard's guiding hand, the force of these four paladins would fall out of control. The midst of battle is no time.
Yep.
What's
I
up?
know. He posted in chat. He goes, "You, me, hard as you can. Clear,
Clear?
crystal." Like that's kind of what's happening here. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
The midst of battle is no time to swallow in uncertainty. She deliberately requested this from us. She can't complain about what comes of it. If she wanted their full strength, he wanted to stake his pride as a paladin to provide it. Calling this a cowardly move, 6 fighters piling up against one would be a cop-out. Against a monster, victory was the only thing that mattered. All right, guard, I'll guide it. Right, here we go. Infernal flame! With a spiritual force that blazed like a pyre from the underworld, guard controlled the towering flames. This was an ultimate form of spiritual magic, borrowing the powers of an elemental lord for the job. It was more power than guard could control by himself, and now it was all being slammed down into Shion's body. It was even more powerful than nuclear cannon in terms of heat, a pure wave of destructive energy powered by the spiritual particles that formed magic itself. As for Shion's response, that certainly fit the bill. Not the attack I was expecting, but so be it. This ought to be the best way to strike fear into your hearts.
Shaggy.
She beamed. She beamed with glee as she readied her enormous blade. Oh, God. Shaggy's a hard one.
You want to reject it, you can.
Yeah, I'll reject this one. Try to hit me with a different one. Higher range is too cracky.
Okay, it has been refunded. Ari, your points have been returned to you.
Yeah. She beamed with glee as she readied her enormous blade. The next moment, she mercilessly cut right through the infernal flame. A side effect of her master
chef's unique skill. Although Shion's behavior usually indicated no rational planning whatsoever. She had been utilizing multiple skills to produce this moment. First, she invoked the extra skill multi-layer barrier to protect herself, keeping all-seeing eye and magic sense active to probe her opponents for weaknesses.
All right, hold on. This is the important part.
Every
Please
time.
read this as yourself.
Then using Master Chef's optimal action skill, she read the flow of those heat waves in a single natural motion, cutting through them to avoid the direct attack. That, of course, didn't mean the attack failed to burn her skin off and put her in a terrible state. Ultra speed regeneration, however, made that no sweat for Shion. Her skin instantly began to fix itself up, returning to normal in the blink of an eye. As brash and reckless as her actions seemed, they were all based on sane, even laudable logic. A promise is a promise. A promise is a promise. Surrender to my forces and release this barrier.
Now back to Schwarzenegger.
Nobody found a ready response to Shion's declaration. The paladins just nervously glanced at Renard and Guard. Seeing such unrealistic sights in rapid succession froze their brains. Their pride as paladins had just been crushed.
Nice.
Woo! Only Guard remained unconvinced. Don't trifle with us, monster. As long as that barrier remains in place, you are completely helpless. It peeves me to suggest this, but I'd say we should turn this into a battle of endurance. Guard! Renard was shocked. Guard was a man of reason, even if his anger sometimes got the best of him. But here, he simply didn't know when to quit. As a paladin, that was perhaps the right choice, but it didn't seem at all like the Guard he knew. But
Yep.
time had...
Stuff is being interfered with. Okay, Rimuru Reverend. So, ladies and gentlemen of the congregation, that kind of guy.
But time had run out on that proposition. Shion's aura surged, projecting danger across the wood.
Ha! You still refuse to accept it? I really will need to... No. Ha! You still refuse to accept it? I really will need to kill you now. Renard shuddered.
Renard shuddered. All of that force. If this monster willed it, we would all be dead in an instant. Holyfield or not, we can't anger her.
We can't anger her. Stop with the provocation. Put your weapons down and...
It's more like, we can't anger her! Stop with the provocations! It's like that.
Okay. We can't anger her! Stop with the provocation! Put your weapons down and... You fool! A paladin never accepts defeat. Have you forgotten that as well? Guard promptly shot him down. This display from him was unimaginable. If anything, he seemed like a different person. You! But before Renard's confusion could fully transform itself into doubt, he was interrupted. With that grunt of force, accompanied by a sharp creen echoing across the sky, Shion's blade cut through the barrier. The holy field, the source of confidence for all paladins, was shattered.
No!
That is a holy... No, that is a holy barrier! Is this some kind of nightmare? How can a monster destroy a holy field? It blocks all magicules.
Okay, hold on.
Paladins.
I imagine that it's happening kind of more like this. I just wanted to do this for flavor. It's like,
Okay.
no, that's a holy barrier. Is this some kind of nightmare?
Kind of nightmare.
I don't need you to do it with me.
I'm sorry. I wanted to do it though.
Wow, you're just putting yourself wherever.
Mm.
To be fair, he only has a few more pages and then it's your turn. It's just that Moon sinned to get the short straw and he had to read 11 fucking pages.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
All right.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, is Shim the only one on not like having his screen pop through? Or is that just me?
That's just
Because I know
you.
my Discord kind of did a little blip. Yeah, my Discord blipped a little earlier. I see
Yeah.
you guys fine. There we go. I don't know why now it's not.
How can a monster destroy a holy field? It blocks all magicules. So it's basically everybody's fucking panicking. And I just want to
freaking
put
out.
that out there. It's not, they're not saying it calmly. This is panic mode. Like literally something that should
anything-
not fucking happen just happened.
Okay.
It's kind of like every time in Dragon Ball where they're like, "How? I put everything I have into that."
I gotcha.
Yeah.
The paladins murmured among themselves, their words and faces full of gloom. Shion, on the other hand, treated all of this as the obvious result. I knew it. It's not a... Wait, is this Shion or one of them?
It's Shion.
Shion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it. It's not a dense multi-layer barrier at all. It's just a special barrier modified to change the rules a little bit. Modifying the laws of nature like that happens to be a specialty of mine. I'm good at cooking that up, you could say. Bernard
Literally,
had no idea.
literally what she just did was use cooking to slice through the barrier. She
is
literally,
bullshit.
she literally sliced the barrier as if she were just cutting a piece of meat.
It's just total bullshit.
I mean, you're
Right?
using a giant
Right?
in a
It's
way,
so
I can see
goddamn
that.
broken. And you know what's worse?
Love it.
This barrier can't hold me. I'm a master chef.
Here's the thing. You know what's even worse than this?
Hmm.
Not only does she have ultra speed regeneration, but she has that immortality skill from being brought back to life as Rimuru. Her
Oh,
spirit automatically knows how to rebuild her body from nothing. So basically, if you don't destroy her soul, she has a save point.
So even if she
like a
disintegrates
permanently
her body, then it's just that did nothing. Ah!
kind of. Yeah, Shion is so fucking broken.
She's a crystal.
He
gem.
is so.
And keep
She
in mind,
literally is just so here.
and keep in mind, this is before becoming like Demon Lord level. She is so goddamn broken.
Oh man.
Aren't you
Renard
glad
had
she
no
like?
idea.
Aren't you glad she actually listens to Rimuru? Fuck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if she didn't have to.
Can you imagine if somebody just let her off the leash?
Yep.
Yeah,
no one would survive.
trying to keep that name fresh in your head.
Yes, I am. Because I said Renard first, and then you kept talking. And I was like, no, fix it while he's talking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can hear you. All right, moving on. Let's go.
Renard had no idea what any of that meant, but there was no doubting what she just did. Using Master Chef, she had modified the results the Holy Field projected on the world. Rewriting the cookbooks in a way, overriding the barrier with something more to her liking. That was the guarantee results skill, the most valuable tool in the Master Chef arsenal, and the main reason why her food had gotten much better as of late. It was perhaps a waste of such powerful skill to reserve it for the kitchen primarily, the way that she did, but now, in dramatic fashion, she had just showed off its battle applications.
Here's the thing. No one but her would think of using it this way. No one but her.
Amazing, though.
She is so goddamn
Works.
broken.
Guarantee results. Like, when you just really think about that name, it's all like, hey, I need these reports on my desk by tomorrow morning. Guarantee results. I'll have them done by tonight. There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of broken. It is kind of fucking broken.
Jeez.
Yeah, no joke.
Oh, where was I? The final results. 4 paladins plus 2 officers struck dumb with fear. What possible way was there to defend against an opponent who was free to get the results she wanted just by thinking about them? It was useless. The only way to counter that was to overwrite her will with an even bigger one. But that assumed you could mess around with the laws of nature in the first place. If you didn't wield that kind of power, there was nothing to be done. Renard, genius that he was, immediately realized what this meant. The fear was numbing The fear was numbing to him. Just as Shion predicted, terror had overtaken his heart. But as the leader of this squad, he refused to give up hope. If fighting meant destruction, then best to surrender and find a way to stay alive. It can't be! It's ridiculous! How could this monster? Asgard babbled helplessly by his side. Renard made his decision, his voice wobbly as if waking up from a dream. We surrender. I only hope you will offer fair treatment to my forces. Finally, mercifully, Shion gave him a broad grin. For the first time, Renard looked right at her. That firm, guileless grin. Then, mulling over his own words, he regained his calm and reflected on the day's events. It seemed certain that this monster Shion really wasn't interested in killing them. That wasn't Shion's will, but that of her master, the demon lord Rimuru. This made the story of Rimuru ordering a demon to kill Archbishop Rahim seem a little unnatural to him. And come to think of it, the whole reason Hinata traveled here was in hopes of building a friendly relationship with Rimuru. Why would the demon lord himself seek to interfere with that? If he was trying to plunge the world into war and chaos, it would make sense. But looking at Shion here, Renard could tell that wasn't the case. Which meant, are we the baddies?
Are we the bad guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I made that connection.
We set up.
Wait,
All right. Anyway.
am I the one being used here?
Mm-hmm.
Hearing that, the demon lord Valentine, the nemesis that snuffed out the lives of so many of his fellow classmates, was connected to Hinata, had made him lose his critical thinking skills. Had that been used to trick him? By who? The 7 Days clergy, of course. Reaching this point in his mind, Renard felt the blood drain from his head. Now he realized the force he captained was nothing but a hindrance to Hinata and her mission. Stealing a glance, he could see her facing off against Rimuru right now, and neither side seemed in the mood to talk. It was the calm before the storm. This is... I am so sorry, Lady Hinata. Thanks to me, any attempt at negotiation was... Now Renard knew the truth. But the truth arrived too late to do anything apart from watch the battle. There was no room for him to intervene. And then the battle started. Hinata and Rimuru crossing swords before Renard's eyes.
Now it is your turn, Sonic.
All right. It was a stroke of luck that Hinata Sakaguchi ran into Shizue. Shizue. I gotta get in.
Izawa.
I gotta warm up.
Shizue Izawa.
Waking news. Oh boy.
Did he freeze for anybody else?
Yeah, he's frozen
Yeah,
for
he
me.
froze for me too.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Sonic.
There you go. You're back. Okay,
you're,
cool.
You're back.
Okay,
You're
I don't
alive.
know. It's been weird. My Discord's being weird tonight.
Okay.
Okay, where was I? Amir Month. She was the only person.
Waking news. You have to read it as a serious news broadcaster, but but in Nuuese, which is basic we talking like a 2-year-old. So very having kind of a speech impediment that makes you sound like you're talking like a 2-year-old.
Or Elmer Fudd.
But as serious, seriously as
I'm as serious as I can get.
But as seriously as you can get. No, any of that. You're talking. You're speaking clearly, except for whatever wisp you're having.
Wisp. Okay.
Wisp.
I have
So
a wisp.
L's become W's.
The wisp. Got it.
Waking. R's and L's become W's. Essentially.
R's and L's. Ooh.
Just think of Waze a Wifle
Waking
from...
news.
Yo, okay.
Waking.
Short.
Billy from...
Waking the wolves.
There you go. All right, here we go. And that is going to be your first paragraph. Your second paragraph is going to be Callie from the Valley, or essentially Palpy from the Valley. And he's frozen again.
Freeze frame!
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, with my now Moonzel. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you're.
Oh, you
you're back,
guys are
you're back.
moving.
Yeah, you froze again.
That's weird.
Yeah, you definitely froze again.
Yeah, you were on stream, so
Weird.
yeah. Hopefully it's okay.
Okay. Okay,
Let me
Moon, I'm
just
gonna have
check
to do
real
this thing.
quick.
If you freeze for a third time, we're gonna have to move to someone else.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on. I think.
I understand it's not your fault, but honestly, we gotta keep the
Yeah,
show
no, it
going.
happens.
Yeah.
I know we did that. Had that happen with Moon too one time, but
Yeah.
like
We broke
breaking
Sonic.
the rules.
No,
broke
breaking
me.
the rules.
No,
Breaking new
the
rules.
thing broke me. So okay, do I reread the first paragraph in that voice? Then?
Yes.
Or do I just go to the second one?
You
Okay.
reread in that voice.
What is a stroke?
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna have to take over.
Again?
I'm gonna have to take over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. It was a
Try to
stroke
restart
of
your
luck.
Discord.
It was a stroke of luck that Hinata Sakaguchi went into Shizue Izawa. Even if it was just for an instant, a mere month, she was the only person that Hinata ever truly opened up to. Like, in that short period, Hinata had learned all of Shizu's sword skills, and when she was done, she left. Hinata was afraid of, like, being rejected, and in the end was, like, afraid she'd lose the warmth she had managed to gain this one time. She was, like, truly aware of how awkward this was, and she did it anyway. All right. She had killed her
network, so
Gotcha.
Continues.
She had killed her father for the sake of her mother. You seem to be okay, but like you're still there are moments of pause.
Yeah.
And you
Like
are getting
we'll continue going through
and you
this,
are getting
and then
and you are getting pixely as hell sometimes.
Am I? Well, yeah, I switched to the longer range.
Okay.
You know what? I might just switch back to the old network in time because I'm on Starlink. Back to
Okay.
CenturyLink. See if that fixes it
I
for
don't
now,
know.
anyway.
All right. Anyway, I'm just gonna
I know
continue.
Starlink, it does get weird sometimes.
I'm just gonna continue on, and then Shin, you'll
Yep.
take over where I would have picked up at. Okay. And guys, it actually looks like we'll be getting through all of Volume 5 or Chapter 5 tonight, because we don't
All right,
like
how does
much.
it look now?
254 to 272. We can kill that in like no time. He knocked out like 11 pages in no time whatsoever, even with us.
Yeah.
Even with us interrupting and all of that. Like, hats off to Moon tonight. Moon, you killed it. Good job.
Thank you. When I get into the groove, I can
think you're
actually
lagging,
really
shoot.
read. That's why I keep looking disappointed whenever I get interrupted, because it breaks the groove.
I understand.
We swapped.
All right. So anyway, she had killed her father for the sake of her mother, but all it did was break her mother's heart. Despite it all, she loved her husband. Perhaps her mother got into religion because she needed prayer in order to deal with it, but there was no eradicating unhappiness from the world. That was the natural, obvious truth. Trying to make it all go away would accomplish nothing. Hinata didn't want to admit that. She wailed at the unfairness of reality, dreaming of a world where everyone could live in peace. What if her mother prayed to make up for her daughter's crimes? If that was the case, did her mother really hate her? Just imagining it racked Hinata with fear. That's why she saw coming to this world as such a fortunate thing. Her being here freed her mother from the pain, no doubt, and Hinata wouldn't have to go crazy any longer. She could just go on like a machine and not worry about anything. Such were the kinds of fantasies Hinata lived with. I think I redeemed both of those, did I not? Breaking New Woos. That is completed. And Callie from the Valley
Callie
is
from the
completed. Here's the thing. You did Readerist Reverend already, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm redeeming that one. I didn't know if that one was just recently done.
I only really did it for a short little bit, so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was why Hinata could never accept Shizue. If she did and wound up hated for it, Hinata would likely make an attempt on her life. She knew that full well, and it drove her to leave before it happened. The only broken one here, she thought, is me. The power she gained allowed her to live in a world full of despair. One where people could take other people's lives all too easily. But in the midst of it, she came across a scene that proved a shock to her. One where a Calamity-class monster attacked, killing many while others fought to keep children safe. None of them fled as they formed a human shield to protect them. And here, she thought the world was full of nothing but people who cared only to keep themselves alive. It left an impression on her. In this world, those who fought were called paladins, individuals who put their bodies on the line for the other people, even if it meant the ultimate sacrifice. People who patrolled the area around this city, shouldering the duty of protecting humankind. That way of life resonated with Hinata. She decided to become a paladin herself, taking advantage of her own power. If she could devote herself fully to battle, there was no need to worry about anything else. Thus, Hinata found a way to atone for her sins. And now, 10 years later, Hinata was another prospector of humankind. Or, I'm sorry, protector of humankind. No, she wasn't prospecting. The days were packed with monster combat. She couldn't really say when these constant moments, she couldn't really say when these constant moments, the same thing happened over and over again, began to bore her. Once she became captain of the Crusaders, the measures she enacted had reduced casualties down to astonishingly low levels. They could make accurate predictions of where monsters would appear and how much damage they'd cause. They worked better as teams now, revising their patrols for optimum efficiency. Reworking the system had reduced the mayhem, producing results that were nothing short of impressive. Hinata could point to that as the reason the knights trusted her so much. She had to laugh at the irony of her behind-the-scenes connection to the Demon Lord Valentine, but she could see that was the best, most rational way to keep the peace in this land. She didn't let it bother her. She had no regrets. Pardon me. Under the god Luminous, all were equal, and only in a fully managed world can people be truly happy. Wow, I don't know where all my words are just disappearing to today.
Off into the void.
Indeed.
Hydrate!
I need to get another bottle of water. Ah!
Shim, it is now your turn.
Oh, okay. Now,
Thanks,
though,
Sterling.
the situation was poor. Oh.
256
Laughably poor.
256 to 272. Yeah, we got less than 20 pages. Let's do it.
Okay. But it had also led to a breakthrough. There was no longer any room for negotiation. She had to win, or else she wouldn't even have the chance to explain her actions. It didn't seem like he was willing to listen to her, perhaps as payback for ignoring him so willfully last time. The shoe really is on the other foot this time around. Hinata chuckled at herself. Things had changed so much that she began to miss those days of boredom. There isn't a single shred of kindness in this world, is there? She could whine about it all she wanted, but her mind was already made up. There was no point worrying or even thinking about it. Victory was the only way she could break out of this. Were her beliefs right or wrong? That hardly mattered any longer. Posture check. As her mind shifted solely to how she could win this, Hinata sized up Rimuru. Arnaud and the others had moved away with their own opponents. It was just the two of them now. Silently, she invoked her measure, unique skill, to look him over. He may as well have been a different person from before. Rimuru was a demon lord, and there was no telling how deep these waters went. Oh boy. Look at all that growth. The idea of him warring with humankind makes me shudder. If not even measure could fully gauge him, it meant Rimuru was either at her level or higher. She moved on, invoking Usurper. Yeah. Her other unique skill and the one absolute advantage she could always enjoy over those superior to her. It let her effortlessly see through and steal the target's skills and arts. And while that didn't mean she could use all of them use them all to their full potential, taking away their skills their opponent worked so hard to obtain was, in its own way, a cruel and merciless gesture. If the target was below Hinata in skill, the evaluation results provided were always not applicable. It meant she couldn't take that target's skills, even though she had no effect on her eventual victory.
Posture
If
check.
the target was... Oh, yep.
Yeah, we already did that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, wait, no. Didn't we already? Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah, we did, yeah. If the target was better than her... Oh, it's okay. If the target was better than her, Usurper could either fail or succeed. Ending with one of those results meant this was a pretty strong foe, but success meant she knew all the target's skills and arts, and if it failed, she could just try again as many times as she wanted. No matter how formidable the foe, she could always make the skill succeed given enough tries. It was just a matter of staying on guard, buying time, and waiting for the right moment. Pull it off right, and Hinata's victory was assured. When she fought Rimuru for the first time, Usurper came back with a not applicable for her. It convinced Hinata that she had nothing to worry about. She totally downplayed his chances, and while having Ifrit summoned on her was a bit of a surprise, it still wasn't a serious problem. She had honed her skill to the point that she had Force Takeover, a rule-breaking skill that was fully effective against weaker foes. Forcing her to turn to that, Hinata had thought, was impressive of Rimuru, but that was all. Hinata thus invoked Usurper as a starter, just to see what kind of enemy she was dealing with. This time, though, it failed her. The skill went through the motions, and once it was done, the result it returned to her was blocked. That was the second time she had seen that. The first was against Luminous Valentine. So you're saying, or you're in the same lofty heights as Luminous? Hinata was impressed. And in such a short time, too. Trickery wasn't going to achieve much here. She took the hefty Dragon Buster sword off her back and tossed it aside, realizing it would be no help at all to her. Instead, she drew the weapon Luminous gave her, Moonlight, a legend-class blade. Protecting her was her Holy Spirit armor, the original that was granted to her other paladins in spiritual form. It was one of the Western Holy Church's greatest countermeasures, an item wielded by the greatest heroes of the past, built for tackling dragons and monsters. Only those truly beloved by the spirits could use it. The light shrouded Hinata, settling itself in the shape of glowing armor over her form. She was now free of all restrictions and stronger than an enlightened, a state in terms of force. Now it was a clash of power against power, and she was willing to put it all on the line. The boring routine her life had become had just reached its end. Waging war without any hope of winning was the work of a madman, but here, Hinata's heart was singing. She smiled a little. Rimuru asked if she had received the message, which meant he was ready to settle this with a duel. I suppose I can absolve myself with a victory here. Her heart and mind were made up. She let it beat out its frenetic rhythm as she pointed her blade at Rimuru.
Moon, you're up.
Woo!
I know, back so soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thinking the wrong stuff. Hold on. There we go. Hinata pointed her sword at me. Oh, no, this is Rimuru. Okay. Hinata pointed her sword at me. She heard the message, and she still decided to tangle with me. I thought she wanted to talk when she threw that weapon away, but I guess not. She just whipped out an even meaner-looking one, eyes boring down upon me. Ah, well, let's win this and have her give me the story then. Facing off against her like this, I couldn't help but remember that this lady had no weaknesses at all. Out of any existing weapons in this world, the ones I had seen anyway, this had to be a far cry above anything else. I took out my katana to address it. If I knew it was going to shake out like this, I should have had Kurobe finish up that katana I had cooking for my own personal use. One had been sitting in my stomach for a while, steeping in a steady stream of magicules, and now a healthy-looking shade of black from tip to handle. But it was in Kurobe's workshop right now. I had waited so long for it, I figured there was no major rush. Faced with Hinata's blade, though this substitute I had in my hand seemed a little lacking. Better keep it within my aura for protection and try to avoid a lot of swordplay. So I had Uriel take control of my magic aura skill, covering the blade in dark, thundering flame. All set now. Let's see what Hinata does. We kicked off with a few ultra-high-speed exchanges. It had only just started, and she was going all out. The speed of Hinata's sword was staggering. Mind Accelerate raised my brain's computational speed to 1,000,000 times normal, and it still just barely let me react. It even reminded me of my fight against Milim. But I wasn't losing. I'd deflect the blow, then return with a slash of my own. We had exchanged a few blows at this point, but none of us had landed a strike. No grazing blows to my body either, which I was glad for. We were testing each other out, but I still couldn't fathom what she was capable of. Even with the support of Raphael and the power of a demon lord, nothing. She has to be some kind of monster. Frankly, I thought I was going to overwhelm her a little more. I mean, yeah, she's strong, but as a true demon lord, I figured that'd give me a decisive bodily advantage. But we were even. Hinata, apparently reading the path of my sword with robotic precision, always lunged in at just the right moment. There were no extraneous movements in her flow, and even when I slashed back, she'd just shrug it off and give me a flurry of sharpened blows,
I
poking at
understand
me
the
in
confusion.
search of weaknesses.
I understand the confusion. It's extraneous, not extraneous. But I do understand why you would think it was one or the other. But yeah, it's extraneous.
Okay.
Sorry, just
Extreme.
keep going. You're at poking.
Yeah. Poking at me in search of weakness. The old me wouldn't have had a chance, I bet. Meaning, in other words, that Hinata wasn't really trying last time.
That
Lucky
Hinata.
me, I
It's not
suppose.
that Hinata. It's like that Hinata wasn't really trying last time. So.
Whatever. Lucky me, I suppose. I couldn't hold anything back here either then.
All right, Sonic, you're up.
Oh, hold on. I think okay. All right. Am I not? I switched
You're
over
fine.
to the
You're fine.
network. Are we good
Guess
now?
he's not playing around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess he's not hanging around Hinata thought. She had hoped to overwhelm him with her sword, making him accept defeat at an early stage. But Rimuru was easily her equal. It had taken her 10 years to polish her sword skills, and he was countering all of them. The human body has its limits. Only by using magic and skills and arts to their fullest could you finally duke it out against monsters. And Rimuru didn't even need to breathe. His endurance would never wane. His muscles never ache. And no magic healing was required to ensure that. Standing in the same ring like this makes me realize all over again how unfair this is. She understood the disadvantage she had faced from the start, dealing with monsters. Survival of the fittest was the rule of law in this world, making it vital to set up all the conditions you needed for victory in advance. She revved up Measure, right?
Measure it. Go.
Measure, yep, okay. Speeding her mind 1,000 times, even pushing it past the limit as she gauged her surroundings. It placed maximum pressure on her brain, even bursting capacity. Caterpillars? I don't know why I want to say caterpillars there.
Capillaries.
Capillaries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Capillaries.
smallest of blood vessels.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Something she handled with self-regenerative magic before the enemy could enjoy a single glimpse of weakness.
Just to pause
In
for a
this
second
stage-
for a quick biology lesson for those in the chat. You have 3 types of blood vessels in your body. You have capillaries, veins, and arteries. And so that's what we're talking about. When you see the little anger mark, that's supposed to be the capillaries in your forehead. People are like, "Oh, the veins." You don't have veins in your face.
It's capillary rage. All right, where was I? In this state. In this state, the world seemed to be frozen to her, but it still wasn't enough. She used Measurer's compute prediction skill to figure out the paths of Rimuru's attacks. That was how cornered she felt. Every arrow in the quiver needed to be used, but Rimuru still looked like he was taking it easy by comparison. She wiped away the drop of blood that...
I love getting the perspective switch here because Rimuru's like, "Oh shit, god damn, she wasn't taking it easy on me at all." No, Rimuru's gotten so good, she's backed into a corner and is being forced to use all these skills.
She's at 100% right now, and he's like, "Oh man, I got 70 already."
Well, here's the thing. The fight just began, and Raphael is calculating. That's what's happening right now.
Oh.
Raphael is observing and calculating. She's going to run out of stamina and energy. She will get tired while Rimuru won't. And then as Raphael learns her patterns and movements and everything. No, it's not necessarily kicks in. It's just like, hey, I'm analyzing everything.
Oh, no, yeah.
And like literally that's going to start. So Rimuru's going to start adjusting to her fighting style. Right now, it's the beginning,
that she's getting,
and they don't know what either can do, and this is what is like. Look at the dichotomy between their ways of thinking. I just love this. It's just it's chef's kiss right here. This is some good writing. Now you see why, like, out of all the other series that are out there, this is the only one that knocked Mushoku Tensei out of its first place spot for a long time, because the writing is really good. and it hadn't been quite to this level in a long time. Not saying that Mushoku Tensei was bad or anything. It's just Slime's really good too.
Compared to this, yeah.
No, I would say they're on the exact same level.
I'm telling you right now.
Tensei.
There's something that surpasses it. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I should have said that. It was not bad.
This is the thing. Slime is kind of a power fantasy. It very much is kind of like an isekai power fantasy, whereas Mushoku Tensei literally is more. It focuses more on the psychological and emotional aspects of one character and what they're going through. So Rudius, the thing is, a lot of things, even if they're mistakes, go very much in Rimuru's favor, whereas Rudius fucks up a lot and has to deal with the consequences of that.
A ton.
There's a lot. Like, he's still very much a person. So I would say that if we're looking at like an isekai that has a lot of realism, Mushoku Tensei wins out. Even if we're talking about realism in terms of just like how a character behaves and the world reacts around him, Mushoku Tensei kind of wins out. It is my favorite isekai, and there's a reason why it is the godfather of isekai. A lot of the tropes that you see in this came from Mushoku Tensei. Yeah. It basically kind of started the isekai like trope memedom fest kind of. But whereas this does it in such an interesting way, that it kind of takes some of the tropes and hypes it to 11. Mushoku Tensei just does those tropes, but does them so well. That's the difference. Like, Slime is kind of, the gimmick is that he's a slime, and he keeps getting powerful and more powerful and more powerful. Whereas in Mushoku Tensei, it's just, the reason people like it is because so much of it is done good. And for all the people that are anti-Rudy, I want you guys to understand that if you saw Overlord's most recent episode, that girl drooling over an 12-year-old that she would become the concubine for, I don't want to hear any more of this bullshit from you fuckers trying to bash Rudy when you got this shit on the other foot for the opposite gender, and you're like, oh, it's okay. It's nothing. I a horny girl. I'm like, motherfucker, that is just as wrong.
Seeing neither of these,
And it's actually so much worse.
Hey,
so lost.
You haven't seen Mushoku Tensei.
A little bit of
That's
that on Overlord. I know what you're talking about.
Dude.
No,
I'm so lost.
I will tell you this, Shim, when you get time, check out Mushoku Tensei.
It's really good.
It's really, really good. No, I recommend Mushoku Tensei over Overlord. Yeah.
Either that or watch my reaction.
There are parts about the show, things that Rudy does that are going to be like, that are going to kind of make you cringe. You're going to have to grin and bear through it.
4.
There's some the early days of Rudy. It's gonna be like, it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, you're in a child's body. Calm the pervert down. But like, here's the thing. He never matured socially from the early days of high school. Like, he was a shut-in for his entire life. So he never got that social maturity.
So he was a NEET.
Oh,
that is now in a child's body.
Yes,
okay.
But it's because of, like, here's the thing. He's not a NEET because he's like, oh, work sucks, blah, 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 or I just want to play games all day. Like, he went through some very traumatic experiences in his high school.
So there was
there's a lot of stuff. It's really, the storytelling, the character writing, it's handled really, really well. I would suggest reading it, of course, because it's really good. But also,
the anime's really good too, though.
But also, the anime is really good, and the next season is season 2 is coming next year. And the trailer came out; it already looks really good. They're covering stuff from volume 7 through 12. There are 26 volumes. The first season covered the first 6 volumes. And here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part about season 1. Here's the crazy part about season 1. They didn't really skip a lot of content that was in the light novels. They predominantly covered a lot of it and did it well. It
There's
is
only one thing that
20?
was like you had to watch an OVA.
They did skip over one part that you come back to later. That's technically an OVA that takes place in between episodes 16 and 17. Yeah.
I feel like they have to do
It's a
that
24
sometime.
episode, Steven. Yeah, okay. That's
Yeah, it's a
fair.
24 episode run so far.
Okay,
Also, keep in
that's-
mind that the studio that did it, Bind, they're brand new. They were created specifically to do this anime. They're now working on more than one, but like when they did season 1, this was the only anime they focused on, and the animation quality is just fucking.
Okay.
One last note of importance.
Mhm.
There is an opening theme song. There is an opening song for each episode, but there is no opening. Literally, they play a
It's a brand
song
new
while
animation every
continue
time.
to show you the world. Sometimes it's just environments. Sometimes it's actually characters doing stuff in the background. It's just, but there's not an actual opening, so there's no risk of spoiler or anything.
No,
like
there's
literally, it just continues on through.
Yeah,
Like it's just
I think it
setting
was
up the episode,
3.
sort of.
Like they drop a huge ass anvil on your head, and then they're
What is
like,
it called
"Here's
when
the
you do that?"
song. Isn't it great? Look at these sad people."
Also, some of the songs change depending on where you are. When they get to Milishion, it's very kind of like holy and stuff because it's kind of like a little bit. It's kind of the Vatican in a way. Like it's a very holy place. It's the center of like their holy religion there. So you get like a lot of these organs and choir sounds. So depending on where you are, yeah. My favorite
I know
theme
he's
is
calling
still
it holy, but it's not full of holes.
yeah. My favorite theme is still the theme for the Demon Continent. That doom doom doom
Yeah.
doom doom doom.
Oh, it sounded so funky.
Doom, 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 doom. It's very minimal, but it's so goddamn good.
It worked. It's
Yeah.
great.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, you're gonna love the characters when you meet them. They're just wonderful. I cannot recommend this enough. Even if it's just getting the digital light novels and reading them, it's so good. I will say this: if you watch the anime, go ahead and grab the first 6 light novels. There is some content that is missing that does make the overall story better, but it doesn't ruin too much. But like when he did his reactions, I filled him in on some stuff in certain places,
So
and
you
I
get more out of it.
and I waited for him to get to those places and go, okay, here's some of the differences real quick. They left this part out. Okay, because there's not really an explanation. This person that you saw is actually related to this character, and that's why it's important, you know?
Yeah.
And
Okay,
there's so much cool stuff. It definitely worth watching and reading. That having been said, let's get back to it.
Let's
Where
get
were
back to
we?
this reading.
Yeah, sorry about
She
that.
wiped away the drop of. Yeah, you're fine. She wiped away the drop of blood that what? Just hang on, I gotta go back into it because I'm not talking for a minute. She
Yeah.
wiped away the drop of blood that wasn't dripped from her nose. That was dripped from her nose, ensuring it wasn't noticed by anyone, and gathered her breath. If this went on for too long, defeat was guaranteed. Even in her present saint-level status, Hinata's human body limited her. If she wanted to become a demi-human spiritual body, she still had one more wall to overcome. Usurper, her main lifeline, was blocked and useless. The one advantage she could always count on against stronger foes was gone. Instead, she had to overwhelm Rimuru with all the technical skills she had cultivated over the years. And this was the result? The sword Luminous granted her housed a scary amount of power. Using her magic force to impart an aura into it, to impact an aura into it, her pelt foes with the kind of lethal damage basic regeneration skills couldn't cope with. Even foes with ultra speed regeneration could be cut in half with this thing. If she could just take an arm off of it, Hinata thought, this could be over. This would be over. No killing. If she could have Rimuru accept her victory, then it'd be settled. But she just couldn't land that strike.
Rimuru's masterful grasp of the air around them, plus his own physical skills, let him accurately predict every motion of her sword. I can't get over his growth, but only in terms of physical ability. I'm not sure his technical skill has kept up. He has evolved, and greatly so, but his innate talents hasn't changed that much from before. Even if he could steal arts in the way Hinata could, all that involved was grasping the fundamentals and having your body remembering the moves. Making full, actual use of them took years of repetitive practice. That had to apply to Rimuru just as much as it applied to her. Is someone snickering?
Yeah.
What are you snickering about?
Moon and
I can't get over his growth.
No, Moon and I are laughing. No, okay. Oh, okay. He's laughing at something different. I'm laughing at the fact that it's like he's not his technical prowess. It's not good enough, man. It's gonna take him way too long to. And I'm just sitting here thinking, you're being analyzed, bitch.
Yeah,
It's
that too.
it's like I was like, give it a minute tops.
The watcher is being watched.
Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly. All right, continuing on.
Mhm.
You thought you were the sniper, and really there's a third sniper on you.
No,
Anyway,
something like that.
this had to apply to Rimuru just as much as it applied to her, as she was counting on that for her victory. This might come down to fighting experience, and Rimuru was sorely lacking there. Hinata could see that, and so she switched tactics, altering her tempo to throw him off guard. Feinting, in other words, taking full advantage of her polished skills, and she did her best to lead Rimuru to his doom.
All right.
Are we sweeping or
Yes.
sweeping? Switching up? Sweeping up, I don't know.
Are you sure you speak English?
You spreken ze English?
Habla inglés, senor.
All right.
Oh my god.
That's just the secret lore.
No, I would just feel like it's sprechen Sie English, por favor.
Parlez-vous français?
Monsieur. All right, anyway.
Nihongo?
Nihongo and hanashimasu ka? All right.
Hi?
No say. No say.
All right. Suddenly, Hinata's sword began to speed up. Her sword skills seemed to change gears every other moment. My brain was going 1,000,000 times faster than normal, but it was like she'd have her blade here, and then the next moment, bam! It was there, like a jittery online video. This isn't funny.
Or my internet.
I thought as I did my darndest to fend her off. It was Hinata Sakaguchi in full swing. I knew this already, but they didn't call her Defender of Humankind just to be nice. So I kept watch over her as we continued to exchange flurries of blows. She had a bit of a smile on her face, watching me as if her victory was assured. She didn't need her eyes to pull off those moves. They were focused right on me, like sensors, tuned to pick up on everything in the area, detecting attacks. The core of her body remained firm, keeping her in a natural position that could handle any advance or retreat. None of her moves were forced. She could pull off a variety of attacks from a relaxed, neutral position without any wind-up required. How she was reading all my attacks, I didn't know, but I was clearly an open book to her. Meanwhile, I was watching her attack motions, then using my physical gifts to find a way to dodge. It wasn't exactly smooth-looking, no. I was being toyed with, and if this kept up, I was guaranteed to lose. I was pretty sure I was more physically gifted, but for some reason, she knew every attack before I unleashed it. As a technical fighter, she was clearly better. In this battle, she wasn't letting her guard down at all. Everything, the atmosphere, her personality, was different from last time, and those strikes, laden with as much force as they were bound to sorely damage me if they hit. Understood, the blow would not be lethal, but it would drain a large amount of magical energy. Yeah, see? And not being lethal, it was great and all, but one poorly parried strike and I was gonna pay for it dearly. A few in a row and I'd be in danger. According to Professor Raphael, that sword of hers had some kind of special force as well. Its wavelengths would change the local laws of nature, letting it break through my multi-layer barrier. For real? It can't be! But I doubted Professor Raphael was wrong. Oh,
Ellipses.
sorry? Something You don't need to say the ellipses, buddy. You don't need to
I know,
actually
I just-
you don't need to actually do the dramatic pauses, you bludger. All right, anyway. Report. Next
I'm a
attack.
what?
Bludger. Report. Next attack incoming. Oops! I had no time to be lost in thought. Hinata had a sharp sword on her, and she worked it freely, moving from jabs to sweeps in a single dance-like motion. She was nothing if not steady, shunning all magic or fancy moves and relying on textbook swordplay to engage me. To be honest, the only other person in this world who could take on Hinata in a sword fight was Hakuro, and unfortunately, Hakuro would probably lose. The difference in potential was just too great. Looking at it like this, Hinata was truly a combat genius. No half-hearted attacks would ever work on her. For example, summoning a replication of yourself to fight her was pointless, because ultimate skills could only be used by the original body, while replications could only use up to unique skills. Hinata would just mowed those clones down pronto. Even if you took Soei's approach and assigned each copy only the skills they needed, that gave you no freedom to change your tactics midway, which meant you'd never keep up with her. Tricks like that could leave you open, which was taboo. Perhaps it wasn't the most exciting strategy, but it'd be wisest to wait Hinata out until she fatigued. Fatigue never happened to me, after all. But now look at her. She's speeding up her slashes. Wait, no. Hang on. I can't read her anymore. I was watching her motion, taking evasive action, but now she was pursuing me with follow-up strikes, anticipating where I'd land each time. Wait, this can't be right. Understood. You were being lured into the area she plans to attack. Ah, that makes sense. Whenever I try to escape to wherever I try to escape to, Hinata's always there with the perfect attack. In other words, she can make me go wherever she wants? My clothing got ripped. The grazing blows were starting to pile up faster. Oh, crap! This is really, really bad! Professor Raphael! My only chance was to have Raphael bail me out. Isn't there anything we could do? Think, dude! Report. Predict future attack learned. Use this skill. All right, bitches.
Wait, what? You did learn
All right,
that?
all right, bitches. Here we go. Yes, no. Whoa! Glad I asked. This guy's unstoppable. I always knew the prof would come through in a pinch. I had trouble figuring out what it said out of nowhere, but that sounded like one hell of a skill I just acquired, so... Report. It was not acquired. It was learned. That's so much scarier. Okay? I don't care, I grumbled to myself. As the professor put it, observing Hinata's movements, it reasoned that she must be predicting my attacks in order to dodge them all so well, meaning it had learned from watching her during our battle together. Wait, it can do that? I told you, this shit is broken. Understood. Yes, it is possible. Huh, guess so. And I really did have the skill now, so it wasn't lying. I immediately used that skill, and when I did, I could see streaks of light in my vision, printed into my brain, if you will. Like any of my other senses. One of them was glowing. I brought my sword up to block its trajectory, then marveled at how effortlessly it let me block Hinata's blade. Those light streaks must represent the slashes and thrusts currently possible from my adversary's position, with their projected paths. Okay, sorry, I was doing a comparison in my head. I know this probably isn't going to fly by Moon, but for the rest of you, who's seen Gun Gale? What? Moon has
How about
seen it?
that?
Wow. Okay. You know the game in the beginning of Gun
That's
Gale
exactly
with the
what I was
guy
thinking
with
of.
the shooter,
Yeah.
the 6-shooter? All right, so you've got some regular shots, and then you've got the red path shots that he could predict. I'm thinking it's kind of like that.
I kind of thought it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. One of them was glowing. I brought my sword up to block Hinata. Okay, the Marvel. Okay,
A few more repetitions.
Yeah, a few more repetitions, and I noticed that some of those streaks were black in color. This meant unpredictability and a more threatening strike down the road. In other words, I suppose all her feints and low-level attacks could now be pre-calculated, but a master like Hinata couldn't be predicted all the time. This pre-calculation wasn't even the scary part about this move. That lay in its accuracy. The streaks of light didn't represent possibilities. If the prediction was successful, there was a 100% chance of an attack coming down this way. And if that was the case, Hinata was no longer a threat to me. Her feints were no longer feints. They were just another step down the road to perdition. I won! And with that newfound confidence, I let my body flow and followed predict future attacks' guidance, attempting to wrest Hinata's sword from her hand. Well, gang, we only have 8 more pages. And one of those pages is a picture. So, I think we can finish this up before it hits 11 my time. So, Shim, if you would like to do the honors, you've got at least
Take us home.
2 pages.
Okay.
Go for it.
It was instinct, a baseless hunch in her mind, and it told her that letting her sword continue along this way would be a fatal mistake. Hinata preferred a logical approach to battle. She never engaged in behavior that ran counter to the evidence at hand. But this time, she believed in her sixth sense. That saved her. It was only a feint, luckily enough, and she could force her blade away from its path. Or really, she shoved her own body in the way, making contact with Rimuru and exiting to a safe distance. Rimuru looked a little surprised at this, but readied his blade once more, waiting for her. Hinata did the same, but something was different. Now Rimuru seemed like a different fighter from before. She attempted a feint. He ignored it, letting the sword whiz by like it didn't even register, and slashed at Hinata instead. There wasn't a moment's hesitation, as if he knew exactly what Hinata would do next. Was that a coincidence? No. It's even more accurate than my compute prediction. It was disturbingly close to predicting the future. She felt like he was almost perfectly reading her thoughts. The speed he's growing at is incredible. I may outclass him in his sword skill, but his latent ability more than makes up for that. Nothing half-hearted will work against him, and if he doesn't... Coldly, impartially, Hinata compared herself to Rimuru. At that point, she realized her chances of victory plummeted a shocking amount. She had hoped for a quick resolution, as more time would just shore up her opponent's position, and here was the result. If she wanted to beat this guy, she now realized she had to throw away all niceties, any effort to go easy or not actively kill him. There was only one answer left: to break out a move she normally never showed in public and to grasp victory with it. She kept her distance, aiming for a fresh start to work with. It looked like things were largely settled around them. Everyone was stopped, as if time was frozen for them. They were all focused on Hinata and Rimuru's battle. The two of them couldn't even attack each other any longer. They could both read so far ahead in time, they could predict the results before they took action. Time passed. Rimuru, I have a proposal. What is it? Let's settle this with the next strike. I have a finishing move, and I intend to put all my power into it. If you can withstand it, you win. If not, I lose? Hinata nodded. But let me warn you in advance. This move is dangerous. Are you willing to accept this? She thought he would, and now that Hinata had kindly provided this warning, Rimuru was no longer in danger of dying from the strike. It meant Hinata could use it without any regrets. If she did kill him, the high-level magic born under him would turn into berserk menaces, striking at all humankind without prejudice. Hinata, her strength exhausted, would be killed at once, followed by all her weakened paladin fighters. To avoid that, Rimuru needed to be kept alive. This move was called Melt Slash, part of the Overblade family, and normally she prepared it on the sly, not letting anyone notice it in advance. It was a combination of magic and swordplay, and its force was massive. There was no way to temper it in a feeble attempt to reduce its lethality. That's why she could only rarely use it. Besides, if I showed this to you, you'd just copy it like it was the easiest thing in the world, wouldn't you? She had reserved Melt Slash only for foes she intended to kill. Revealing it to Rimuru, who could learn anything after a single repetition, frustrated her. But so be it. Nothing else was holding her back. I need to settle this here. The only way to make Rimuru admit defeat was to show him just how overwhelmingly outclassed he was.
Moon.
But let me warn you in advance. This move is dangerous. Are you willing to accept this? She must have been pretty darn confident about this finisher of hers, but it didn't make sense to me. Why would she give me advance warning?
Understood. No desire can be detected on Hinata Sakaguchi's part to kill you. If she is cautioning you, it indicates just how dangerous this move is.
I see. She doesn't want to kill me. Wait, what? Didn't she come to do just that? I mean, yeah, something about this did seem kind of weird to me. Too late to stew over it now, though. There'd be a lot more time later. All the time in the world, in fact, once I win this. Sure, I accept your challenge. Hinata smiled at me. I thought you would. There was something really pure to that smile. It made her look younger than her years. In fact, she could almost pass for being in her teens. It felt much more natural than the usual battle-hardened Hinata I was familiar with. This wasn't some grin of cruelty. No derisive snickering. Maybe this was the real Hinata. But no hard feelings after this, okay? I warned her. If you lose, promise me you won't mess around with this nation any longer. Hinata gave me a quizzical look, then nodded, shaking off her indecision. All right, I promise. I agreed to this duel because you requested it. I want to discuss the future with you as well. She seemed up to the thought, at least. But hang on. Something she said didn't seem quite right. You accepted it because I wanted it? Yes, she nodded. I received your message. My message had started with a few polite greetings, then moved on to the topic of Shizu and the children stranded on this planet in an attempt to ease our misunderstandings. In addition, I offered her a forum where we could discuss our issues calmly with each other. In the end, I capped it off with this. So I hope you will agree to come to the bargaining table, but if I fail to convince you, I'll take you on. It can be you and me in a one-on-one duel, so nobody else will have to be involved. If possible, though, I'd like to end this with verbal discussion, not physical destruction. So give it all the thought you need, and I'll be waiting for what will hopefully be a positive response. For now, see you later. Or something close to that anyways. I forgot the exact words. I definitely wasn't gunning for a duel. It's just that Hinata's so stubborn that I figured I would throw that in or else she'd tune the whole thing out.
Shadow
Here I
Reaper,
go.
I'm going to reject that. I don't think any of us can do that.
Oh, sorry.
DeGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
No,
we're
I
not
can't.
doing a Neil deGrasse Tyson, sorry.
I have not heard his voice enough to even try to
I
mimic
can
it.
try. I
Yeah.
can try.
Too late.
It's not
It's
my
not
turn.
your turn.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing, so I'm good.
Here I go. Whoa! Oops. As I was pondering all this, Hinata had readied herself for the strike. We definitely still had some misunderstandings between us, but with things how they were, I could say nothing to stop her now. It was crazy. How focused she looked. No words would ever reach her brain.
Stop.
Ah, well. Do what?
Shadow, yes, you can redeem that instead. You
Goofy.
can redeem Goofy instead.
Like, you got your points redeemed, so turn it in
Yeah,
if you
when
want
I
to redeem.
reject
And just do it to
reject a
someone else.
request, your points are redeemed back to you. You get your points
Yeah.
back, so you can spend them on something else. No biggie.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
There it
you
is.
can. There it is,
There we go.
Goofy.
Oh, well,
Let's
I'll
get
hold
to
out
it.
if I win. Simple.
All right.
Gosh. It appeared that Benimaru and the rest had secured victory while I was busy. Some of them were lying on the ground, some seated, and few had the inner...
Moon,
Yeah.
I have good news and bad news for you.
Okay.
The good news is that was a pretty good Goofy. The
Hell yeah.
bad news is it's actually Sonic's turn.
My turn.
Yeah.
Gorsh.
Oh.
There's 3 asterisks on my side. That's what I'm seeing, and I'm letting him have.
Oh, I don't see
Okay.
anything on
Yeah,
mine.
yeah, I figured
I don't
you-
see it.
Here's
yeah.
the thing. I figured on the digital version, you guys didn't see it. So
Yeah,
Nah,
I'm just
no.
going off.
it wasn't there.
But like literally, here's the thing. What you just did, you finished this page for here. Then we switch over to the next page, right?
Mm.
And right at the top,
Shem's just dead.
right at the
I'm stretching. I'm
right at the
tired.
top, we have the 3 dots, and then that leads
Yeah.
to this again.
Oh,
So
All right.
you've got
Oh, interesting.
you've got less than a page, Moon. Sorry, or not Moon,
Yeah.
Sonic.
no, yeah, me.
I'm just really
It
happy you
appeared
gave
that
me
Betty
well.
Maru
Go for it.
and the rest had secured victory while I was busy. Some of them were lying on the ground, some seated, and a few had the energy to do much else. Only Benimaru and Soe looked like they had any gas left in the tank. Even the 3 Biscuiteers were all spent as the paladins. I guess they never got around to animalizing for this fight.
All right, back to normal.
Soe, though, what was he doing? The female knight he was engaging with seemed to be unhurt, but for some reason she was looking at Soe with visibly blushing. I could see her fidgeting nervously on her feet.
God
even,
damn it,
which
Soe!
only added to the mystery.
Oops.
It was like she
Soe's
had
got
a crush
another
on the guy or something.
Yeah.
What's up with this guy? What is up with this guy? Oh, sorry. What's up with that? Aren't we kind of all locked in combat right now? I'll need to inquire about that later. Then we had Shion. She must have totally stormed through her battle, and she even had paladins meekly following her behind her. prisoners? Some of them looked wounded, but none fatally. A little recovery potion and we all be good. I need to dole out some praise for that performance. That just left Hinata and me, and we were just one attack away from wrapping up. Benimaru? Yes. If by chance this fells me, you're taking my post. Ha, surely you jest. No one here would ever doubt your victory, Sir Rimuru. I shrugged at his cheeky. What the heck was that happen to me? Can I do that again?
Yes.
I shrugged at his cheeky.
Cheerful!
Cheerful! Damn it! Ah! Yeah. Can I get the
Stupid tongue revolting on you.
Yeah, I don't pay it enough, apparently.
You know what? Sonic, it's okay. Slisdexix on die!
Goku said time. Okay. I shrugged at their cheeky evaluations of me and my reading. There we go. Yep. I had people here that really loved me. Unlike my stash of special videos, those I kept in a hidden directory on my computer back home. This was one treasure I couldn't afford to leave behind. I wasn't that irresponsible.
He's cultured.
All right. In that case, wait for my victory right there. Yes, sir. Be brave. I nodded and turned my gaze to Hinata.
Looking around, it seemed to Hinata like the stage was set. She could see her exhausted squad mates nearby, but they appeared to be receiving better treatment than she'd expected. Prisoner abuse must have been strictly prohibited. As it would be, I imagine, judging from your disposition. I suppose I should have believed you from the start. The thought certainly took some time to occur to Hinata, but it was a sincere one. And it still wasn't too late. She could just win this fight and they could build a new relationship. She corralled her rising excitement, turning it into a prayer as she began to chant a spell in her clear voice. That wasn't strictly necessary, but she wanted to show it off to Rimuru. If he was going to steal it anyway, she wanted to be sure his copy was a perfect one. This was a disintegration spell, and now its force was gathered around Hinata's left hand, letting out a blinding light. Glowing particles fluttered around it, creating an otherworldly sight. And then she imbued her moonlight sword with this mystical force, as if gently caressing the blade with one hand. Now everything was ready. Her sword contained the strongest magic possible now, and there was nothing it couldn't slash through. Are you ready for this? Bring it! Here we go! Melt Slash! Hinata, a glowing orb of light, lunged for Rimuru. Himuru? Himbo!
Rimuru.
All right. All right. Here we go, Shem.
All right.
Now take
a bright light. Not the glint of a sword, but her entire body, with shiny particles shooting out of it, as she advanced at a superhuman speed that went way beyond what I expected. The sword she wielded had the power to dispel and evaporate all types of evil.
Report. Unable to defend. Unable to evade.
I had never heard Raphael sound legitimately panicked before. Even with my senses enhanced a millionfold, the light looked like it was going at a regular speed, a sign of just how fast she was going. Between the distance, the angle, and the timing, Hinata was aiming below my stomach. She must have figured I wouldn't die if my head stayed intact. But even if she didn't intend to kill me, this move was way too dangerous. I couldn't evade it. Multi-layer barrier was meaningless, and that light was spiritual in nature. Evil dispelling, capable of tearing down anything it touched. The moment we made contact, it would sear through my body.
Report. Report.
Yeah.
It is suggested to sacrifice your ultimate skill, Beelzebub, Lord of Gluttony, to cancel out this attack. Question.
I knew. Oh, sorry.
I know you talked about this before too.
What's your question?
Hang on, I'm looking. Okay, hold on. Okay. Here's my question. Do you want to know in a couple of weeks, or would you rather know now what's actually happening?
I'd say a couple weeks, but that's just my opinion. Majority rules.
I know we kind of talked about it a little before.
Somebody
too.
is lying. Would you like to know more?
Sure.
I bet Raphael's
It sounds
lying to Rimuru.
Yeah.
Raphael's
He's not going to
lying.
sacrifice gluttony, is he?
Raphael is
Oh,
lying.
okay,
No.
Oh, he's bluffing.
Lying, I don't know if the right term I say here.
Sacrifice gluttony to cancel out this attack. Here's the thing. Raphael is
The
lying.
word choice.
Raphael is lying. Cannot be defended, or cannot defend, cannot evade. His ultimate skill, Uriel, Lord of Vowels, could have actually blocked this. Beelzebub is being used as a sacrifice so that Raphael can absorb and analyze Melt Slash.
Ha.
So he's got his own moves.
And here's the crazy part: a backup of gluttony is already being planned at this very
Back
second.
up all your important
so
files.
he's losing gluttony,
Fuck it.
but he still has gluttony. Raphael is broken bullshit.
Broken as shit.
He's just playing his own game. He's playing
are you
like
talking
five.
Oh no, I
She
have to get
has
rid of my most
too.
amazing skill. Oh,
Raphael
don't worry,
is
we'll
a
bring it back later. Wait,
fucking
what?
liar,
He's just playing 5D chess.
right?
He's playing his own game. Yeah.
Literal 5D
Anyway.
chess, not this fake political theater bullshit.
Rimuru thinks he's the king. Nah, bitch is a pawn.
No, Reaver's like
That's
Reaver's
a
thinking.
thinking she's
No,
all three person.
the thing is, Reaver's thinking it's unbelievably serious. Meanwhile, Raphael's being a scientist.
Like. Yeah.
see what happens if I
I can
sacrifice gluttony.
I can make these things happen. Hey,
he's-
you can't miss. You can't dodge this. Oh no.
See,
Like-
if I do
Yeah.
this and I do this and I do this, we get that ability and we lose nothing. So,
Yeah, so
You should
motherfucker,
have
Raphael
just
is
a cutaway
scary.
scene where it's like the words of the world or Raphael, whatever, just being
HAL
like, "Boy, I'm
9000.
glad he's a dumb shit."
HAL 9000. Psh, Skynet. Psh, fucking Raphael. That's the scary one.
Yep.
It's like I'll eat.
Yeah, just sitting
I'll
there,
eat
just like,
every.
I'm glad he's a
it's
dumb
like
shit.
it's like literally if you fired a nuke at it, it just ate the explosion and then like spat it back on you.
Science.
Like it doesn't even need the missile.
Now we have the power
It doesn't
of a
even need
nuclear
the,
bomb in us.
like literally doesn't even need the missile. It can just make the explosion happen whenever, wherever. That's kind of how broken Raphael is on this standpoint. That's kind of the best way I can.
Raphael read the guidebook and found the cheat codes.
Yes, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Okay. I knew I could rely on old Professor Raphael at a time like this. As much as I hated to let go of Beelzebub, I didn't have much choice out here. Out of all the suggestions it had, this was the most likely one to work. So there wasn't much point wavering on a decision. At this speed, besides, aiming practically didn't matter. It's not like I could just adjust my trajectory midway. Raphael used Predict Future Attack to calculate the point Hinata aimed at, activating Beelzebub at the exact same spot. The moment her sword hit me, Beelzebub would swallow it all up, or so the plan went. Pretty simple, no reason to waver. And in another few scant moments, Hinata's skills crossed path with Beelzebub. Silence. The result? Well, I survived. I thought I wasn't going to, or I wasn't gonna for a second, but I did. I could hear Hinata's laughing ringing in my ears as I was lying there on the ground. All the magicals in the area had been purified. Universal Detect wasn't working for me, making this the first time in a while that I had heard using my actual eardrums. It was more unnerving an experience than a nostalgic one. My body couldn't move. Canceling out Hinata's strike consumed a vast amount of magicals. In terms of damage, it probably wiped out over 70% of my store, which, hey, it's fine as long as I'm alive, but what a scary attack she had up her sleeve. She'd busted that out without warning me. Well, just thinking about it just made a chill run down my spine. I'm impressed. In the midst of that, you took the attack full on purpose. Huh?
Well, it's more like
What's Hinata-
full on purpose.
What?
Yeah, full on purpose? Huh? What's Hinata talking about? What kind of idiot would intentionally take an attack like that?
Now you understand why this is so
Yeah.
funny. See, here's
Yeah,
the
like,
thing.
oh.
It was going to be hard as shit to hide my laughter while you guys were reading this and being like, God damn it, I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, like
I feel like Rimuru was like lying there on the ground, like on purpose.
Hold
What
on.
are you talking about,
All right,
Raphael?
hold on
What
one
do you mean?
second. We're getting to the end of the chapter, which means shit just is going down. All right?
Mhm.
This isn't a happy ending.
Oh, and Timber.
Oh, God damn it.
perplexed at Raphael's suddenly odd behavior. I decided to ask it a question, but the prof was silent. hiding something likely. Well, if you took it and lived, I lose. It's not like I could fight beyond this. Protective light around Hinata disappeared, or fizzled out, really. She was spent. Even that amazing sword of hers was gone, gobbled up by Beelzebub. She could no longer offer any more resistance to anyone. Only her dignity was intact, her head held high as she waited for my reply. Yeah, we'll call it a win for me. That battle was over, but the problem hadn't been solved. As I attempted to declare victory over Hinata, I spotted something out of the corner of my eye. Hinata's noticed it too, and turned towards it. Up ahead, coming our way, was a large sword.
Report. Thought interference and magical instability detected on target. It will explode soon. Yeah.
The target was
Wait,
great.
what?
Shut the fuck up. Shit got real.
Sorry.
No, not you. Him.
Oh. The
You're
target was
reading.
the great sword itself. If someone was interfering with it, was it an attack aimed at us? No. Are these the depths you'll sink to 7 days? Hinata screamed out as she stood in front of me. I was still immobile, and then the promised explosion. And then I could see Hinata's body slowly crumple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
The 7 days clergy just attacked and killed Hinata.
Well.
They just nuked him.
Fucking
Yep.
cheaters.
Right?
Yeah, what a bunch of assholes.
All right, guys. It's crazy how shit is going down. But you know how I talked about 3 battles? That's what we're getting next chapter. We're getting whatever's happening with the 7 days where Rimuru and company are at. Then you're getting Diablo facing off with his portion of Farmus. Then you're getting the rest of the group that is going, the Farmus forces that are being sent towards the former king, Edmaris, and Rimuru's forces that are defending them along with Yom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's coming in the next chapter. 3
wild,
freaking
dude.
battles. It is going to be wild because this is all that's left of the book. And that's basically
boy.
the chapter and the epilogue. That's it, buddy. We have
Yes, sir.
page 277 out of 339.
Yeah, we're like 80% done.
We have not long to go. We have essentially 52 pages.
Yes, sir.
52 pages to go. And we
can do it.
actually ate through. Let's see how many we ate through today. Because we actually did pretty good. 237 to 277. We ate through 40 pages today.
Oof, that's a lot.
And here's the thing. We did that in exactly 2 hours.
Woo!
So here's
No
the
bullshit.
thing. Here's the thing. No bullshit next week, and we can actually finish volume 7.
Mm-hmm. I think we can do
And
it.
trust me when I say this, you're gonna wanna. Because if you thought what just happened with Rimuru and Raphael was bullshit, if you've ever wanted to see a one-sided ass whooping happen, boy, is it gonna be funny when Diablo steps forward.
It's gonna be like,
All I can picture now is like literally the joke of the Smash Bros. A new challenger has appeared, and it's like, or Diablo is, or no, Diablo is ready for the fight. All right.
all right. After that fiasco,
Oh yeah, Shim, what'd you think of this chapter?
words, confrontation, clash. They did the thing. It was cool. Back and forth, do the thing. Oh,
Dude, this is a great way to review when we're just fucking exhausted.
It doesn't feel that great.
Moon,
Yeah.
Moon, I have evolved beyond your form.
so late. Fuck. All right.
You look like Private Pile.
How dare you?
Ah,
How? You know what?
I
This is
can't.
taking too much away from this. How fucking dare you, bitch?
I dare. That's how.
You dick?
Yeah.
Well, the 7 people are out there. I hope you're entertained.
Yeah.
I hope you at least
Well,
throw
there's a
us
double
money.
puppet show. They better be.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
At the end of it all.
All right. Sonic. What did you
Yep.
think of this chapter?
It's very interesting having like a third person perspective of them kind of like vocalizing their thoughts about the whole thing. I'm pretty sure from your explanation that Hinata does come back, but the fact that she dies at the very end of here is kind of like, oh, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Type of thing.
Imagine that being the end of the anime episode because you know it's going to be.
That'll be lovely.
That's like, yeah, I can tell. That's the halfway point. That's the end of episode 12.
Moon,
Right there.
get in your chair.
Fine.
Get up.
Everybody else got on camera. You have to
God,
as well.
oh my God. Oh.
Yeah,
I
right?
really hope-
Oh.
Yeah.
I could barely hold myself up for those last 20 heel touches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was practically just dragging my shoulders across the floor.
Yeah, my
Dragging
I gotta
yourself-
take a shower after this.
Same.
I have
Same.
to.
I
have
I had to change shirts because literally
Oh,
I have been sweating in this motherfucker for
All day,
fuck.
really.
10.5 hours, you fucks.
Oh, that did not hurt. That did
Kinda
not
your
help my
choice.
headache.
Sorry. I'm yelling at the chat and I did not realize you had a headache. Sorry.
I'm gonna lower my volume.
Yeah, 10.5 hours, you assholes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm ready to die probably more than most of you.
That's fair. It's not a competition.
No,
I'm
it's
tired.
not. It's
You win.
No.
You win, girl.
I don't.
Oh.
No.
And then you
no.
see Lady Chan in the chat being like, be meaner to Richie. Got it. No, that affects all of us. At least at this stream, anyway. Feel free to do that with the other
I will
ones.
say this. It's nice to actually work out with other people and actually be able to see them.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference. When it's
I
just
do enjoy
me,
these workout times. I don't work out enough on my own.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
do,
try
but
to do
I'm-
a little on
All
my
right.
own, too.
Oh.
I
That's
have
the
decided.
extent.
I have decided on one thing though.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to cap it at 100.
Yeah, I
That's
was
good.
going to say, maybe we should cap it again.
Then
At
we
least
can
that's
split the
bad.
sets
but-
up a lot more easily.
We're gonna cap it at 100. That way, it makes it a lot easier for us
That's
to
fair,
do.
so I don't fucking die on stream.
Yeah, that's also that. Sorry, Shim.
Or
I'm so
throw
sorry.
up.
I'm
So
just
here's how we do it. No, we're not gonna do 2 sets of 50. You're out your mind if you think we're gonna do 2 sets of 50. Though
Hurts.
I
Thank
am
you,
thinking
Shadow
about
Spider.
doing 5 sets of 20
Mm-hmm.
for the whole time. Because
That's fine.
I think we
Whatever
can
you
do that.
Okay.
Cap till y'all build up muscle. Shit, we don't want to build muscle. We want to burn fat.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the main thing. If we wanted
I
to
gotta
build
get you.
muscle, we'd be using weights.
Yeah,
Yeah, or
body
doing
weight
something.
reduces fat.
Mhm.
Extracurricular weight builds muscle.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Though to be
Or more
fair,
reps.
here's the thing: if you break down muscle, your muscle eats fat. So if you felt like you got the point of muscle failure, where like you felt you couldn't do another one and you still had to push yourself to doing it, that's good because you're breaking down your muscle, you're calcifying your muscles, and in order for your muscles to repair themselves, they pull the nutrients for the things that surrounding them. Fat.
Yeah.
We're not seals. We don't need the fat. We're not swimming in the Arctic. All right, that having been
Unless you
said,
live
though,
in
guys,
Antarctica.
Moon. What
Yeah.
did you think of this chapter?
This was a lot of fun. It was a really good chapter. Got to see a really good amount of fighting going on, which was great. I want to see what Soe had to deal with.
Yeah.
Just looking over. And
I
it felt
remember
like,
reading
oh,
through. I'm like,
she
what the
has a
fuck is this
crush
guy
on
getting
him?
all the
Oh,
the
no.
girls?
He's probably just confused. It probably doesn't happen on purpose. He's probably
Shim gets all the
Like-
bitches.
like, dude, I wish.
I can just
but
imagine.
no.
Yeah,
Well,
Shim
hey,
was like, why does
Shim-
she do
Delivering
this to
this
me?
whole line of dialogue,
Shim,
and she's just oh,
Shim,
Yes.
just a few
Yes.
more weeks of this shit, and you probably will.
Holy fuck. I mean, it'd be nice.
It's like
It'd be
dude,
nice to have
we
someone
just-
watching
It's literally
for all
you're
the
just.
fucking work I do.
This is literally an essay
Ugh.
followed by P90X.
Yes, it fucking sucks. It's good, but it fucking sucks.
Here's the good news: you didn't start.
Yes.
You did not start any of your push-ups close hand. That would have hurt
Mhm.
so much more. The
Yeah, I
closer
know,
your
that's the
hands are
problem.
together, the more the more you work this out. Like you work this out
Yeah.
when they're closer, or no, you work this out when they're closer, and then here, and then by the time you get all the way to here, you're working this, and that's why it's
Yeah.
easier when you get wide armed. Here, all right. So
I want tattoos.
close hand is basically about your shoulders.
Yes.
Regular is about here, and then wide arm is like you're barely to get your arms 90 degrees. No, further than that.
Ooh.
No, so start off like you're all the way down, and you just so there, and you're barely so when you've pulled them back to you, see you're still. Here's the thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're coming too far back. That's not wide arm. Wide arm is all the way out here, and you're barely pulling back to do it. So it's like
you can't really
you're
see my
going
hand
up like
doing it.
maybe an inch and a half max. That's what those push-ups are. They're almost at the very edge of your hand span, of your hand reach. Like if my hands are all the way here, then I bring them about here for wide arm, and I'm just doing this. It's kind of like
Okay.
this. That's as far back as I'm going. See how little? That's why when you get to the end like that, they're a lot easier that way. So start off kind of decent, normal, and then further and further as you get further on. Like by the end, if you're doing wide arm, we understand.
Yeah, I'm.
But yeah, this was a really, really good chapter. I'm glad we got to experience it. The next one's going to be more fun. Guys, do you think we can wrap? Do you think we can wrap the next chapter up in one sitting?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Do you guys want to go?
Maybe.
Here's the thing.
I like his dog.
Do we want to go 3 hours or do we want to start a little earlier?
I can't.
Start normal time.
No.
Normal time.
Yeah, we'll start normal time. I'll go past because I
Okay.
can't.
You
I
can't do
go in
earlier? Gotcha.
No.
All right.
So.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
why I brought it up. I figured if one person shot it down, we'd just start normal. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I can't do that.
No,
for
no,
work
that's
'cause
fine,
I have
that's
like a
fine.
40-minute trek. So.
That's
The
fine.
thing I do at 4 is every week, so I don't
Oh,
know. I
sorry.
don't always know when
Forgive
I'm
me.
gonna get home.
Gotcha. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, sticking with us.
Yep.
We really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching me die.
Thanks for watching all
causing
of
our
us
pain.
die. Yeah.
I'm just-
Last but not least, do not forget, guys, that we will be back. The next time you'll see me, I'll be back here on Wednesday for Dungeons and Dragons. And then, of course, we have Fan Fridays back on the main YouTube channel. We'll probably be jumping back into Minecraft again because now we're in survival and we're playing in survival mode. Yeah, it's a lot of craziness. Don't forget, guys, you can jump into the Minecraft server anytime. It's just that we stream Fan Fridays on Fan Fridays. That having been said, you can check me out once again on Saturdays for my Mushoku Tensei light novel readings. Next week we
And?
start. No, that's Sunday. I'm still on
that's Sundays.
Saturday.
Might be.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing that tomorrow.
No.
I
Well,
thought you
no,
said
I mean,
something.
I'll be
Tomorrow
playing
is the
Thursday
off
is
day.
tomorrow.
tomorrow I will be playing Pokemon
Off
Arceus
stream.
on my channel.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I've already given guys like Zoinks Gaming. If you were here for Pokemon, you got the link, and well, you at least saw me post on there, and you could follow my channel. I'm not doing it again, guys. I'm just too damn tired at this point. And on Saturdays, I'll be reading Mushoku Tensei. I think we're on. Yeah, we made it to volume 17. So 19 comes out at the end of the month. So 17, 18, 19, and then we're caught up. 20 may come out before I get caught up, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And once we get caught up on Mushoku Tensei, we're taking a break from Mushoku Tensei for a while until that series finishes. And then whatever book we're on in the next series, we'll pause after we finish that book and move back to Mushoku Tensei. And I'll read the end of Mushoku Tensei all the way through, to which we will pick up where we left off on the previous series. Which reminds me, guys, the next series that we're starting up on Saturdays after Mushoku Tensei is Log Horizon. from the very beginning, we're doing Log Horizon. The very series that brought this fame to our door, as it would. So we'll be doing that. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you are too. It's going to be a 2-person read. It's going to be me and a female voice actor. So that way we got girl parts that I don't have to butcher. That having been said, guys, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you guys in Fat Dog Wrestling. Once again, big thanks to Carson for coming on earlier and hyping us all up and making us chuckle and have us all read some stupid nonsense from a Konosuba one-shot that I have written.
I do feel like I have to redo mine again after I reread it off screen a couple times.
And of course,
I feel like I butchered mine.
And of course, once again, tune in this Saturday as we get on to Anime Church. And again,
Sunday.
Sunday with Anime Church, followed by another round of Arceology, followed once again by, on Monday, another round of Arceology. And that will lead back into the light novel.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That having been said, though, guys, thank you so much. Please go to check out and support our Patreon. One other thing, for those of you who aren't sure if you could do monthly payments, I got good news for you. You can pay an entire year in one shot. Whatever tier you want it to be at, and you get it 10% off for paying annually. So that means that if you want to be a $1 patron, then you officially get all that content at that tier for just $10.83 a month. For just $10.83 in one go. That's a bargain, dude.
Cool.
Also, just want to say quick thank you to that fucker down there, Sonic, who is a fat dog, and became a patron. So thank you for paying some of our bills.
I guess I'm just not that far into being a fat dog.
You
to
already,
really feel it yet,
well,
so.
here's the thing. You already know all this shit that's going on because you hang out with me, but you paid for the same information. You literally just paid for same information. So there you go.
I think I'll say this. I don't know half, and that's probably why, because like I need to get access to the other half. Apparently,
here's the beautiful thing, guys. 2 days after we began updating the Patreon, we got $33 more and 4 more patrons. So trust me when I say every little bit helps.
Include him?
Yeah, that does include him. Here's the thing, guys. Every little bit helps, no matter how much you may think. Wow.
I don't get a refund.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't get a refund.
Yeah, you don't. Others do. You don't. Anyway, here's the thing,
unless
guys.
He gets a paid roll.
Yeah, if I get paid, start getting paid. That's one thing.
Here's the thing, guys. If you do at any point in time want to up your tier, you're welcome to do that as well. Certain tiers get more love. We do have a Patreon video. We also have this Saturday at 3 p.m. No idea if that's Eastern or Central because Tony never got back to me about that.
Uh-oh.
We are going to be doing a live stream. We are going to be doing a live stream about our Patreon. I'm hoping it's 3 Eastern because I can't do it 1 hour before the stream on freaking the stream on Twitch for the light novels. That's gonna get crazy.
Fair enough.
Also, guys, if you think this is crazy, what I did Saturday was nuts.
Yeah, I do not doubt
I read one chapter, right?
Yeah.
It was one chapter and an extra chapter at the end. That one chapter at the end was 70 fucking pages.
I'm sorry.
I was there for 3 hours. I was like, when is this fucking chapter ending? When is this fucking chapter ending? And it was 70 goddamn pages. I'm like, why do you write a 70-page chapter? Are you crazy?
It's like Red Dead Redemption 2 up in here. It's like, okay, the epilogue's probably going to be like
literally what this
30
chapter was building up and getting ready to leave for the major events happening in the next book. It's literally just covering the 2 weeks that they're getting ready to head off for the next adventure. It's prep. But the fun part was there was 2 different instances of there was a guy's party and a girl's party and they all got drunk. Well, except for the pregnant women. So, yeah. but there was a lot of drinking, so there's a lot of me pretending to be drunk reading as guys and girls. So
good.
really, really dumb, fun stuff.
Just every time you have to read a drunk line of dialogue, you take a shot.
Okay.
To really get into character.
I have officially crossed off everything on the checklist, and I can now watch the video that that was made this morning, 10 minutes after I started streaming, or rather this afternoon, 10 minutes after I started streaming for the actual video for our Patreon that we're doing on the live stream. So I can finally fucking watch it now. Thank you all so much. I'll stream on my own damn channel tomorrow. We're tired. We're going to go to sleep or take showers.
Oh, yeah.
One of those things. Thank you so much.
And then I'm gonna
All
go
the
work tomorrow.
above. Just
Fall
sleep
asleep,
in the
or
shower,
we can fall
yes.
asleep in the shower. Yeah, that's also true.
Together.
Don't go to
No,
bed
no,
stinky and
that's
sweaty.
too far.
Don't go to bed stinky
I'll
and
try
sweaty.
not
That's
to.
all I
No.
ask. All right, that having been said, though, guys, thank you so much. We love you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.